Robert Half, they found that 67% of companies want to increase contract talent. That's why their recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI work quickly to find the skilled candidates you want at Robert Half. They know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today. The Yankees, not a surprise, moving on to the playoffs. They clinched last night with their 3-2 win over the White Sox. Still business to 10-2, though, as they are still chasing the AL East crown. They are now one game behind the Blue Jays, with Toronto losing to Boston. Manager Aaron Boone, his message to the team following the win over Chicago.
We've been through a lot already that's going to make us stronger. It's going to bring us closer. This is an important first step, an important time to appreciate one another, celebrate one another, but also understanding that we got much loftier goals and we got to keep our eyes on that.
And Max Fried will take the ball tonight as the series continues right here on The Fan. As for the Mets, they had a very positive night. One, they came back from 6-1 down, beat the Cubs 9-7. Big home runs from Brandon Nimmo and then Francisco Alvarez. And part two of that is the fact that the Reds lost to the Pirates 4-2. The Diamondbacks did beat the Dodgers 5-4. But as we sit today, the Mets a game ahead of both Cincinnati and Arizona for the third wild card spot. Jonah Tong makes the start tonight in Chicago. The Tigers' free fall continues. They lost to the Guardians 5-2. The two teams tied atop the AL Central. Cleveland holding the tiebreaker there. Cleveland's David Fry expected to be hospitalized as he was hit in the face by a 99-mile-per-hour fastball from Tarek Skubal in the sixth. Baseball is going to implement the challenge system for balls and strikes in the 2026 season. And, of course, the news during the BT and Sal show yesterday, the Giants naming Jaxson Dart their starting quarterback for Sunday against the Chargers. Brian Dable to meet the media at 12:30. This report brought to you by NJMEP Manufacturing Day, October 3rd in Freehold. If you work in New Jersey manufacturing, your chance to network, learn, and connect with resources for your business is October 3rd. The annual Made New Jersey Manufacturing Day in Freehold. Both gubernatorial candidates will share their vision for industry in New Jersey. Register today at njmep.org. 72 in Central Park. That's what's happening. I'm Jerry Recco on WFAN, now streaming on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Talk sports hands-free. 888-808-1019. Powered by Paramount Plus. Count on Sundays all season long with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. It's Brandon Tierney and Sal Licata on WFAN The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
A part of me, BT, says playoffs. Like, whoop-de-damn-do, playoffs. You make the playoffs every year. But that's because the Yankees do generally make the postseason more often than not. And if you look across town with the way the Mets are fumbling their way, trying to hold on to a playoff spot here with 5 games to go, the Yankees once again routinely, even with a season that we can question and rip and say they didn't do enough, this guy didn't have it, their team's not constructed properly, trade this, trade that, even in a year with all that going on, the Yankees once again, ho-hum, routinely find themselves in the postseason with a realistic shot still at the American League East Division title.
Which I did not think that they would have a shot at that division title. This is what the Yankees do. Listen, I didn't know what to expect coming into the year. I did not know. You lose Soto, you lose Garrett Cole, Luis Gil's not ready to pitch. The first one of the offseason arms that you bring in, Devin Williams, has an ERA of 9 the first month of the season. We're all sitting there saying, what in the world is this season going to turn into? And as the years unfolded, and listen, I think that the higher you are in terms of accomplishment, unfortunately, maybe the more critical we get. So we probably, and when I say we, I mean all of us, and I'm guilty of this as well, we probably glossed over a lot of the good and really hammered over probably a little excessively some of the stuff that really bothered us. But this year for the Yankees has been littered with amazing stories. I mean, Trent Grisham's story is amazing. Aaron Judge, I know we could have the debate, Cal Raleigh, whatever. He should win the MVP. Bellinger's been phenomenal. You look at the season that Ben Rice has had. The Yankees have 2 lefties that have won 18 games for the first time since 1979 in Rodon and Fried, which was Guidry and Tommy John. So Stanton, we didn't even know if Stanton was going to play this year. And if you look at his numbers and prorate them, which you can't, but he can tell you how effective he's been, he's on pace for 45 bombs at 100 and something RBI. So it doesn't mean they're going to win the World Series, but what it does mean is that the Yankees, once again, when people when people aren't sure who they are, they just have this ability to rise and give their fans a lot to cheer about. This was a great accomplishment based on some of the issues they had this season.
Look, they're held to a higher standard because of their great success. It is what it is. They're the New York Yankees. They're the greatest winning franchise in the history of sports. So they are going to be always held to a higher standard, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't at least take a moment to appreciate. Now, I don't think just making the playoffs for them, especially with the expanded postseason, is a big deal. Like, they should make the postseason every single year, but they do more often than not. They've made it the majority of the seasons for 30 years and counting, where we say it for other teams like the Mets, well, you should make the postseason every year with their payroll and Steve Cohen take it over, and they don't. Like, they fumble to do it. So if we see one team in their same town, not to mention the other teams across the league, not make the postseason as often as the Yankees do, then there is something to it. It's just not as easy as, well, they're the Yankees, and yeah, the expanded postseason, they should make it every year. So it is an accomplishment. But it's also not just about the weak American League. Like, that was a big narrative last year, and I know I was talking about that, and I believed it. That
was true. It was weak last year.
Okay, it's different this year. And what they've overcome, not to mention Garrett Cole being out before the year, like, They wanted Juan Soto. He left them. They still pivoted to a significant plan B. We joked about the plan B and what that would bring in. It's even more than just that. Even when they were starting to struggle a little bit, Cashman, what does he do at the deadline? Aggressive. Goes out and tries to rebuild the bullpen. Some guys hit, some guys don't, whatever. Also gets Caballero in insurance, and that has helped. You go get a third baseman in McMahon. Like, the Yankees, I don't care if you hate them, if you love them and you're mad at them, whatever it may be. You're a Met fan. If you don't respect and appreciate what the Yankees do routinely, you are missing the mark here. Every year, they give their fans something to be excited about going into the postseason. Every year. Even if they don't win the World Series every time, every year they have a chance. And I would say that they have as good a chance as anybody in the sport once they get in to go. I wouldn't say I'd bet on it. I'm just saying that they have as good a chance as anybody else.
I'm starting to feel that way, and I haven't felt like that for most of the season here. You know, one of the things that frustrates me about the Yankees, and this goes back to what I said before about we tend to, beat to a bloody pulp because of the expectations, the failures, or the things that bother us. Now, to be fair, the things that have bothered the Yankee fans, they've been constant for years. So it's not like we've been completely out of whack, like whether it's a fundamental issue on the bases or, the defense not being tight enough in certain spots or not having enough left-handed six going back a few years ago. The thing that bothers me about the Yankees is that for the payroll and the expectations and the really good players that they generally trot out every single year, it's always this mid-season, okay, what do they have to do to bring in? Who do they have to bring in to save this? And I've never understood that. And that's why I've always gone more toward Brian Cashman than I have gone toward Aaron Boone. And I think that's, I think that, now, I don't tell people how to think, but I think that that's the right way to analyze the troubles of the Yankees when I say troubles, no championships, since 2009. I think it's been more of a bad roster than a manager not doing the right thing. That's my opinion. I think a lot of people agree with that. Not everybody, that's fine. But this year, the moves, and this is where you started to do it, but I've got to do it as well. The moves that Brian Cashman made at the deadline, it's not only given them depth, but it's changed the energy of this team. The Yankees, when you watch the Yankees, there is some energy, whether it's Caballero, whether it's Jazz. And I know Jazz can do some things that drive you a little nuts here, but there's an infectious attitude and fun and spunk and just a little bounce with him that is very, very detectable. And then you look at the left side of the infield, which was a train wreck for the first 90, 100 games of the year. They got a lot of lefties who throw inside cutters and sliders. What does that mean? It means the ball's going to third base. So the Yankees went out and got a guy who was a great fielder in McMahon. It's going to be a fun ride. They have changed. I hope it's a fun ride. They have changed my views on what they could do this year. I have said all year, I do not believe that they could win the World Series. The last month or so, for a lot of reasons, that's changed, and that's good to see.
Yeah, now look, I still think that they're a flawed team, but I don't want to get into that.
Who's not, though? Think about this. Who isn't?
That's the point. So their biggest, I guess, negative thing with the Yankees is always that we're always comparing them, at least in my mind, to the dynasty years. Okay, well, I've seen the dynasty dominate in the regular season for multiple years, for almost 2 decades. I've seen them dominate in the regular season and then have success continually in the postseason to the point of winning many World Series, obviously the most recent one in 2009. So every Yankee team, at least in my mind, like, yeah, this is great, you make the postseason, but it's all about winning in the postseason, and they haven't done that nearly enough. So we can still have the conversation, well, will Aaron Judge and this Yankee offense do what they've done in the regular season, specifically against bad teams? Will they carry that over in the postseason to get to and win a World Series. Last year they got there. It's been a while since they got there. They got there last year. Can they now get over the hump and go win one? So those are still question marks. The base path stuff, the defense stuff, like I still believe that
Dominguez.
they have developing the younger players, Volpe, whatever. They still have flaws. However, even with all those flaws that other teams have would knock teams out. Knock teams out. And the Yankees always find a way to get there. So much so that I do think we take it for granted here. Yankee fans,
we do.
People in New York, the media, we take it for granted. The amount of success, the continued appearances in the postseason should not be taken for granted.
That's well said. And think about this. Think about the football slop that we get served up every single Sunday for over a decade. The Knicks have finally fought their way out of this malaise for most of the century. The Rangers haven't won a cup since 94. You know, the Isles, the Devils, the Nets. I mean, with all these teams that are in our city right now, I mean, the Yankees are the one that continually give their fans at least a belief. They deliver on the promise of at least being in the mix. And I'll tell you what. So I think to really process, and my mindset has changed this year. I grant you that. This has not been my mindset throughout. But go back, if you're a Yankee fan, go back to the middle of February and what you thought that this team could be. And then quickly find out that and if I told you on Valentine's, it'll take middle of February, right? If I told you Garrett Cole will not throw a pitch this year, Juan Soto will be a Met, who was amazing with Aaron Judge and has been amazing for the Mets as well. No Cole, no Soto, no rookie, no reigning rookie of the year. And oh yeah, by the way, Clark Schmidt, who's better than Will Warren and is a starter, and that is 60%. 60 of your starting rotation, and the Yankees with 5 games to go have a pretty good chance to win the division, and Judge going to win the MVP, and you got 2 guys who are knocking on the door with 20 wins. I mean, it really has been... It's been fun, and it was not fun for most of the year because if you think about up in Boston, the base running gaps with Dominguez, with Volpe's erosion, and some of the other things that have gone on, that swallowed up the energy to the Yankee season. I didn't think that they were capable of repositioning it to the point where I would believe that they really have a chance to win. I believe that they have a chance to win.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not shocked by what's going on here. I've told you all along.
I'm pretty surprised.
Outside of when they lost to Minnesota last week, that was the first time I was like, oh, maybe they're not going to win the division. But knowing what their schedule was and just not believing in the Blue Jays, and by the way, that would be the sweet cherry on top here, although I'm not a big fan of cherries. But
I
maybe
hate cherries.
Yeah, maybe like the sprinkles on top. I'm a big sprinkles guy.
Sprinkles are good.
So maybe
butterscotch
maybe
sauce,
the sprinkles, sprinkles on top of the Blue Jays and their broadcasters and their manager talking trash with the Yankees. They're starting to choke it away here down the stretch. Wouldn't it be sweet to finish with the Yankees on top, winning the division? Then you don't have to worry about what would be a very dangerous wild card series, even being at home. You know, take it on Boston. Yeah, it's going to be great drama to talk about, but that's a dangerous series in the first round. Maybe the most dangerous series that they could have throughout the postseason. So you want to win this division. It's a big difference moving forward. They're a flawed team. I'm not ready to say that they're going to go out there and win the World Series. I'm just saying that we as a city, you mentioned it before, the Knicks come and gone, really mostly down, but they've been back up. Jets and Giants, they've stunk. The Mets, come on. I mean, the Yankees have been the one constant for 30-plus years, and no matter what happens with the division, they again will be in the postseason. BT and Sal on the Fan, our friends at Town Fair Tire. Remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. What do we got here, Hoff? What are you doing? Okay, we're going to the calls, right?
Yep, we'll get some calls here.
Yeah, Sully's calling from Farmingdale. What's up, Sully?
Hey, guys. Good morning. Love the show.
Thank you. What's up, Sul?
So, listen, huge Yankee fan, over 50 years. Agree with a lot of the points you guys make, but honestly, the Yankees should have never been in this position. They should have been way ahead, even with Cole being injured. I think the Yankees heading into the offseason last year knew Cole's elbow was a little bit shaky. I give Cashman a lot of credit for Bellinger. You know, Bellinger has made a huge difference, but I'm afraid in the playoffs that the Yankees are going to go back to the home run or nothing, and I think Bellinger at least shortens down his swing.
Yep.
I think they have a chance to win, but I don't think they're going to win. And at the end of the day, that's the Yankee standard. You got to win it all. So I don't want, and I get a little tempted as well to start like celebrating too soon. You know, whether they win the East or not, they got to win the World Series.
Well, Sully, listen, I appreciate that, and I'm okay with that. I think what we're saying today is to appreciate the checkpoints before you actually get to the analysis of did they win, how did they look, if they get knocked out, who knocked them out, what round was it, and that's why. And I know some people have an issue with this. I've never, whether it's the Yankees or anybody else, like if you win, even if you're used to winning, if you clinch a wild card berth, you know what? Pop the champagne. I have no issue with that. It's such a long season. You get to spring training in February. It is almost October, Sal. You play every single day. You travel. You're up. You get in from, Lord knows where at 3, 4 in the morning. You're at the ballpark 9, 10, 11 hours a day. When you accomplish something, when you pay the toll to keep going to hopefully cross the bridge to a World Series, don't go nuts, but have a couple of beers, light up a couple of cigars like they did, and have fun. I think that they earned it.
If you're not appreciating the checkpoints, then what are we doing here? Like, we talked about this, I don't know if it was last week, BT, or 2 weeks ago, where we're like, man, this season has just not been fun.
Yeah, for both teams, we kept saying that. It was like torture.
And it hasn't. Now, you could say different now, of course, with the Yankees playing well over the last month or so and clinching a playoff spot. That's fun. This season overall has been a lot of negative talk for different reasons throughout the course of the entire year. So I wouldn't deem it as fun. When there are legitimate reasons to be having fun, like right now for the Yankees, you should be having fun and not saying, I don't trust them in the postseason. They're a flawed team. They got to go win the World Series. We know that. We could have those conversations tomorrow or next week or in 2 weeks from now. Today, after they clinch the playoff spot, I do think, now again, you do what you want. I'm just saying I think it's proper to sit back and appreciate the greatness of the Yankee organization for routinely making the postseason when you could look across town and see how difficult other teams make it just to even get there.
There's no question. And there's going to be polarizing and paralyzing topics of analysis. I mean, let's face it, guys. What does Aaron Judge do the next month? That is biggest, outside of Jaxson Dart, that's probably the biggest story. Aaron Judge eventually got to crack through and cement that Yankee October legacy. What are we thinking when Devin Williams takes the baseball in a high leverage spot, up one, tie game, late, on the road, whatever it might be, ALDS, ALCS. Okay, what happens with, say, Rodon, who has had really, truly an amazing season, but the thing that we always say about Rodon, but do we trust him? We'll get to all that. This has been really, really unexpectedly fun, and I want to remind everybody, and I was in the building when the Yankees lost to the Astros on that Saturday night, 2022, and just listen to the starting lineup, because this is the perspective that I think gets lost sometimes, and that's one of the things Sal's saying so far. Enjoy it, appreciate it. Harrison Bader led off, Judge batted second. This is a playoff game, guys. Rizzo is batting third, Stanton 4, Torres, Donaldson, Cabrera, Falefa, Carpenter, Peraza, Trevino. That was the Yankees lineup, pinch hitters, pinch runners, etc., as they were trying to get to the World Series. So not only have the Yankees in a lot of ways, I don't want to say overachieved because they have a massive payroll, but they have put themselves in a position to win a World Series while also really flipping the roster, which is hard to do.
BT and Sal on the Fan. Steve is in Bayside. What's up, Steve?
Stevie.
Yes, what's up? For all the criticism that Brian Cashman was taking in the offseason about Plan B and whatnot, you guys were just mentioning it. Think of how you lose 3/5. If I would have told you going into the season, you're going to lose Juan Soto plus 3/5 of your starting rotation.
Yep.
Where would you think this team would be?
But that's why, and I'll let you finish. That's why I always said, I don't know if the Yankees are going to win the division. I've been saying that for 5 months. I've been taking the Blue Jays seriously, and the Red Sox a little bit.
And the days of the Yankees trying to catch lightning in a bottle with the Aaron Smalls of the world. You have guys, you had Warren step up. You had Schlittler, who looks like he has the potential to be a top of the rotation starter.
Love him.
And then I'm listening to Brian Cashman on a front office show the other day. He says the minute that the guy brings up Schlittler, he's like, hey, I got 3 more coming. I've got Ben Hess, Carlos Legrand, and Elmer Rodriguez-Cruz lined up for next year. This narrative that the Yankees can't develop starting pitching after they had the Rookie of the Year last year.
No, nobody says that. But that's not true.
Yeah.
It's position players, which is much more accurate. Everybody lauds the Yankees' ability to find pitchers.
Yeah, no, to me, it's been more about the lack of development of the position players that's been going on for a while. And that still remains the case here. I just believe, and look, to me, it's disappointing if you don't win the division, but that's still in play. And I believe now more than ever, and I believed it for a while. I'm convinced that the Yankees are going to win this division.
You've been saying that.
Yeah, but now even more so because Toronto is choking it away.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think hey, look, the way the things lined up, and by the way, BT, it shouldn't just be overlooked like the Yankees beating up on bad teams. Okay, well, who else demolishes the bad teams? It's not like they're just taking 2 out of 3. Like, they're bludgeoning these teams for the most part when they're playing these bad teams. That's what good teams should be doing. There's no apologies in that. When their schedule is lined up the way that it is, and we say definitively, well, the Yankees are going to go on a major run, like I expect 10-2 or 11-1 against these final 12. Well, that's saying something where you can't say that about all the other teams in the league.
Yeah, and that's true. And I think where, for me, I know we're going to break here, get these calls coming back, obviously, Yankee fans fired up. I think that they stabilized things about a month or so ago when they had that stretch against good teams.
They played 2 out of 3.
They played pretty well against the Astros, and that was like the first flick where I'm like, okay,
Toronto,
maybe
Boston.
Yep, Toronto and Boston. Maybe they're starting to grow into something here I didn't see. So, by the way, if the Yankees go 5-0 the rest of the way, Jays go 3-2, Yanks win the division. If the Yankees go 4-1, Jays go 2-3, Yankees win the division.
And if you're a frustrated Yankee fan, even with getting to the playoffs, it's like, I want to win the division, win the World Series, then I have a question for you. We'll do that when we come back. BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019.
New York sports is more than a game. It's a lifestyle. WFAN is the only place where Yankees, Mets, Giants, and Jets fans come together and sound off.
I like Soto. I like his attitude.
The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
You know what they say about judging a book by its cover? Everyone with an addiction has a story to tell. Don't know, don't judge. Addiction is a treatable medical condition. What helps people seek treatment is support. What does not help is shame and stigma. We can all make a difference. Learn how at oasis.ny.gov. The New York State Office of Addiction Services and Supports. Every step of the way.
Some things are hard to commit to, like learning how to surf or saving for a family vacation. But one commitment that's easy, switching to Fios Home Internet with a 5-year price lock guarantee. That means 5 great summers of fast, reliable internet at the same low price. All with the Fios 1 gig internet plan. Plus no hidden fees or equipment charges. Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch today. Price guarantee applies to base monthly rate only for new and existing My Home customers.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium hot or iced coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions. Participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limit time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
The Mazda CX-30 is more than just a crossover. It's a statement. Step inside and enjoy a refined interior with available leather seating, a sleek 8.8-inch center display, and premium sound that turns every drive into a getaway. Feel confident with standard advanced safety features like Mazda Radar Cruise Control and Smart Brake Support. When on the road, the CX-30 Skyactiv G engine delivers responsive performance with impressive efficiency. Right now, lease the Mazda CX-30 for just $199 a month. Style, safety, and value all within reach. Visit your local Mazda dealer or go to MazdaUSA.com for more information.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on the Fan.
For over 100 years, Sloman's has been your trusted partner in comfort. When it comes to home heating oil, they deliver more than just quality fuel. They deliver peace of mind. With price protection, automatic deliveries, and 24/7 service, their dedicated team is just a call away, ensuring you stay warm and comfortable all winter long. Sloman's, the Tri-State's largest heating oil provider, proudly serving their community for generations. Give them a call today at 866-GET-HEAT or visit oil.slomans.com.
Hey, I'm John Gallucci Jr., President and CEO of JAG Physical Therapy and an avid pickleball player just like you. I'm so excited to share that I've written my 4th book, Pickleball, 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 Don't Get Hurt. JAG Physical Therapy and myself have treated many athletes throughout our careers. Each chapter gives you an opportunity to read about different injuries that you're exposed to in pickleball. Pickleball, 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 Don't Get Hurt is a book that's written for beginners all the way up to professionals. It discusses the demands of the sport and how to prepare to play, prevent overuse injuries, proper nutrition and hydration, how to prepare with biomechanical movements and core strengthening, how to recover after participation to keep pain out of your joints and muscles. And of course, if you do get injured, please seek out one of our professionals at JAG Physical Therapy. This book is your essential guide to staying strong, playing smart, and avoiding injury. Grab your copy of Pickleball, 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 Don't Get Hurt today on Amazon. And let's keep you playing and pain-free.
In the U.S., it is estimated that more than 1 in 5 adults live with mental illness. Help is available. Call 988 to start on your road to mental health care. We can survive together. From your friends at Town Fair Tire.
School may be back, but the fun never stops at American Dream. Just minutes from Manhattan. With over 25 indoor attractions, you can ride Splash at DreamWorks Water Park, ride coasters at Nickelodeon Universe, and so much more. Tickets at AmericanDream.com.
Fall is in the air, and that means spectacular savings at Open Road Mazda of Morristown and Open Road Mazda of East Brunswick. Lease the versatile 2025 Mazda CX-5 all-wheel drive for only $239 per month for 36 months. Or choose the rugged 2025 Mazda CX-50 all-wheel drive for just $249 per month for 36 months. Prices are falling at Open Road Mazda of Morristown and Open Road Mazda of East Brunswick. Visit us today for exceptional seasonal offers. Click shop, we deliver, openroadmazda.com. Must finance through Mazda Financial Services. See dealer for complete details.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than just Peyton Manning. I'm also motivating Manning. When I say insurance, you say financial services. Insurance. Financial services. Insurance. Financial services. Now when I say nationwide, you say is both. Nationwide. Is both. Nationwide. Is both. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
Listen to You Better You Bet with Nick Costa Sunday morning at 8 right here on The Fan. Nick will preview all the football action and get you ready for kickoff, presented by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Back on the Fan, 888-808-1019. We'll get to Jaxson Dart and Brian Dable, so he should be speaking at 12:30. We're going to hopefully take that here. Hop's got to work over the logistics, but I can't wait to hear what Brian Dable has to say. It was shocking that somebody would say that, but I want to see if there's any insight into what went into the decision, and even what he says. I don't know if you could take 100% truth from that, but Jaxson Dart clearly going to be a huge story here, exciting the fan base, exciting this town, BT. We can't wait to watch what Jaxson Dart's going to do Sunday, so we'll get more into that. And the Mets' big win last night, we could do that, but we wanted to start with the Yankees today and throw them their flowers. Here's what I would ask you for any Yankee fan who's like, oh, we got to win the World Series, and I get that. We'll have that conversation next week. There'll be plenty of time to discuss that. Ask yourself this. Think about this. Which fan base, and I got to ask you first, BT, which fan base would you, as a Yankee fan, want to trade places with right now in baseball?
None.
I mean, think about it.
Maybe the Dodgers, but none outside of the Dodgers.
But you could say that, and then I would counter and say, well, yeah, look at the Dodgers. They have Dave Roberts, who I can't stand as a manager. I know they won the World Series last year, and that's great, but I think Dave Roberts is an awful manager. The Dodgers won 88 games. They're probably going to win the division again, but it wasn't like they were expected to win 120 games. You know what I'm saying? The Yankees have more wins than the Dodgers do right now.
There's not a lot to be envious about if that's where you're going. There's not. The Yankees, they just... You mean the season or the last...
Well, right now. I'm just saying right now, if I asked you as a Jet fan, which franchise would you change?
Every single one of them.
Yeah, basically pick one outside of the Giants, probably. Pick a fan base that you would change.
No, at least I'd have Dart this weekend.
So
I would say the Giants still.
And you could ask me as a Met fan, outside of me loving Juan Soto or Steve Cohen and believing in them,
who would you want? You would Yankees.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. I mean, you'd have to be an idiot to say anything other. Or just resistant to the fact because you grew up a Met fan and hate the Yankees. I get that mindset. I'm talking about be in their position where they're in the playoffs every single year. So even when it feels bad because you haven't won a World Series since 2009, which, by the way, that's still better than the majority of teams in the league. But, for them, it's it might as well be 40 years. It might as well be 1986 for the Yankees. 2009, it's, oh my God. But even aside from that, they're in the postseason every single year. Every fan base should want that. And not every fan base gets even close to what the New York Yankees have.
They don't. I'll tell you what, though, you would think that some of the complaints and the dissatisfaction with the big picture overall direction of the Yankees the last X amount of years and all those discussions we've had about Cashman and all the different things that bother us, the fans have never stopped investing this is fairly obvious, but Yankees have 40,000 every night. So it's not like there's this connection where, all right, hey, all right, we know you're an amazing all-time franchise, but we're getting a little tired of you not delivering the ultimate prize, which is a championship. The Yankees still show up 40,000 deep every night, so their fans are always into it. The fans are amazing, and the fans are also real. I don't think Yankee fans are delusional. I think there was a point, and I was guilty of this as well, and I stopped this a long time ago. There was a point, and it was normal. I'm sure the Patriot fans went through this. I'm sure the Celtic fans with Bird went through this, or Magic with the Lakers, like Bulls, Jordan. When you're so good every year, you kind of start to take stuff for granted. Right. And you start to say, even if they have a dire situation, down 2-1 or down 3-1 or whatever it might be, this guy's hurt, this is a bad matchup, that will find a way. Why? We're the Yankees. Now, that expired a long time ago for me. So the newer, and I think that most Yankee fans stopped latching on to that aura and the other stuff that you can't really touch and quantify. It has been, I think Yankee fans have been on point. I think their dissatisfaction has been with merit, and I do think that their new, the awakening, if I can use that term, with this team is justified because this team does look a little different than past Yankee teams.
Well, their lineup can be elite. They have some other issues. Their lineup can be elite. Williams starting to get it going together in the bullpen with Bednar. Obviously, we know what the starting pitchers are. And a big part of this, and we were talking about this during the break, to me, a big part of showing appreciation to the Yankees today after just clinching a playoff spot is also due to the fact that the Mets are showing you that it's not easy. They're showing you right in front of our faces a team with that absurd payroll after they went out there and spent $8 billion on Juan Soto to bring him in here. They're still hanging on for dear life with 5 games to go. So that is a prime example right here in this town showing you it's not as easy as the Yankees have made it look.
And think about this, even if the Mets, now I said yesterday that I think that the Mets will find a way to get in, and we'll get to that. Yeah. That was a crazy game. We will get into that in a little bit here. I do think that they'll get in, but if they do get in, to your point about trying to mirror what the Yankees do, well, then you got to do it again next year. Right. And then you got to get back the year after that. And then you got to get back the year after that. So it is a steep hill to climb, and just when you think that they don't have the horses to do it, the Yankees have, and Cashman, I'm not going to dodge that. Cashman made some moves that have paid off, and I didn't see it coming necessarily. He's had a really good year with the roster.
The Yankees have missed, and we've done this before, but we'll do it again today before we get to the calls here. The Yankees have missed the postseason 5 times, if my math is correct here quickly. 2008. Final year of the stadium. Well, 2013, 14, and 16. That was a little bit of a rut before the Baby Bombers took over. And then again in 2023. That is 5 years in the last 30 years. Post-1994, and we know about 94 was the strike. So
and there would have been more if there was a wild card back then. It's not like all those teams were terrible. I mean, I'm just perspective. Yeah. They've been, even before that.
Really, 5 years since 1993, because the 1994 season you can't count because there was no postseason, and they would have made it that year anyway.
They were great with the Expos.
So from the 94 season on, they've missed 94! That's the last time the Rangers won a cup. It feels like forever ago. Cup. That was in junior high school.
Patrick Ewing.
94, the Knicks were in the finals. 94. Yeah. Think about how long ago that. 5 times since then. That is not that to me is almost a greater feat than if they were to win another. Say they won a World Series last year
and then just bottomed out for 6-7 years or whatever it might be.
Yeah, even just if you tack on one more World Series win since 2009, the fact that they've missed the postseason 5 times since 1993 is just remarkable. Alex is calling from East Quad. What's up, Alex?
Hey, good morning, guys. How you doing?
Good.
What's up, buddy?
I have one ongoing problem with Boone that I've had for most of the year. It involves Aaron Judge. And bear with me on this. Earlier this year, they asked Judge himself, where would you like to bat? He said, I prefer batting third. He said that. He's been batting second most of the year. He's going to basically hit 50 homers. He's leading the league. He's in the world in average. He's only going to have 100 RBIs. We know he gets walked a lot, but this is an inherent problem with the lineup if they're not hitting homers and with what Boone's doing. On any given game, you've got Grisham, who's going to hit homers, but he's hitting 237, decent on-base average. I'll give you that. Then you've got Judge. On the back end of the lineup, you've got 3 guys in a row on any given game who are hitting 210 or less. I don't know why every single game you got to have somebody on base when Judge is up. Every single game, leave Grisham leading hitter if you want. You've got a platoon Dominguez and Rosario, or platoon Caballero and McMahon. Caballero's on base percentage on the Yankees is 374.
He's changed a lot for them. He's brought a lot to the table, man. He's fit right in.
Somebody has to be put in the number 2 slot. Judge to get on base to take advantage of his hitting. You can't have him coming up and getting walked 2 times a game when nobody's on base because they can get away with it. Or you got 7, 8, and 9 hitting 200. Yeah. It cycles to Grisham, and then you've got Judge again. You need somebody on base.
Listen. I hear you. I think we all hear you. Thanks for the call there. I think that's a little overstated. It's really it presents itself, all right, first inning, okay, and then it kind of gets lost in the wash a little bit here. Listen, first of all, Aaron Boone didn't tell, he told us. That's where you heard it. We talked about this with Boone on opening day when we had him on the show about where Judge prefers to hit. He told us that on our show. I think that it's complicated by the fact that the Yankees don't have a true leadoff hitter. Now, I can't prove this, and it's worked out. Sometimes it's been Goldschmidt. Sometimes it's been Ben Rice early. It was Austin Wells opening day. Obviously, you get a lot of Grisham there. I think if the Yankees had a true leadoff hitter like a Nobby or a Jeter type back in the day, or even a Willie Randolph type or a Ricky, I think that you might see Judge in a more conventional third spot. But I think because it's such a revolving door that fluctuates, I think that it's easier to justify putting him 2 because it's a little weaker than other top leadoff hitters.
Right. It is one of the things, though, that doesn't make me feel great about this Yankee lineup. Go back to last year's playoffs. To me, the most dangerous thing from an opponent's perspective when facing the Yankees would be Glaber when he was hot was getting on.
Yeah, and he played well down the stretch,
And then Soto.
Yep.
And then you had to pitch to Aaron Judge.
Correct.
So that's what I would want to be in a spot. Now, I hate the idea of potentially having the game come down to getting another turn and you end it on the 2-hole as opposed to Aaron Judge will be hitting third. Mm-hmm. So obviously you want more at-bats, but I would like to see Judge third because I do believe if they could find a potent 1-2 tandem the way that they had Torres and Soto last year in the postseason, that's their biggest key to success. I just don't know if we could get that consistent. Like, would it be Rice? Would you go Grisham? And then you have to say, is it worth it? And this is where Boone doesn't do it. Is it worth it to have the back-to-back lefties? Not lefty-righty, which he likes doing. He values that more than having guys on, I guess, in front of Aaron Judge.
I mean, listen, we could watch Yankees baseball 50 more years. We're never going to see another Soto and Judge combo.
All right, but still, you could
So it's almost impossible to look at it that way because you had no choice. You got to put Soto 2, you got to put Judge 3. If there was a better option, I'd be okay with it. But that's why I say because of the lack of consistency.
Why not Bellinger, too?
Yeah, I'll tell you why. Because to me, Bellinger, even more than Judge, because he hasn't been clutch in October, so it's not that unbelievable. But the thing that I love about Bellinger is his bat-to-ball skills. And, whether it's 2 outs, he's going to flick one the other way, whether it's a lefty who he hits very well, whether it's a righty, hitting it up the middle, going deep when he has to or when he gets a pitch to turn on. I like the professional skill set of Bellinger behind Judge, who's on base so much, rather than a guy who's more prone to strike out.
Fair enough. Why not Rice?
Rice too.
Yeah.
Grisham,
no,
I do. Well, then it's lefty.
Okay, but still,
yeah. No, I'm not averse to the lefty. Booney is a little bit more than we are.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't mind it as much.
But and here's the biggest difference. Even if Judge does hit second, which I would expect that to be the case more often than not.
Yep.
If a team wants to pitch around him, there's more danger behind him this year.
No question.
That's what I'm saying. So that was not the case last year where it felt like, oh God, if they don't do damage with Torres, Soto, Judge, you're screwed.
Well, Stanton in the postseason, but outside of that, Stanton hit 7 home runs in the postseason.
I get it, but still, in my mind, a good pitcher can pitch around John Carlson. But whatever the case may be,
it died off fast after that.
Yeah. So now I feel like it's much different to where, okay, if I'm Boone, I sit back and say, all right, well, we got Grisham, who's had a great year.
Yep.
We have Judge. You want to put Judge on? I got Belly. I got Stanton.
I got Rice.
I got Jax.
I got Grisham.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Now I probably would still go Grisham, Rice, Judge, Belly, Stanton, Jazz. Like, that is...
I mean, that's a lot there. That's a lot
okay,
of
so big deal. So you have the two lefties. Like, Ben Rice can hit.
I know, and he can hit lefties, too. So can Bellinger. I know.
So what's the issue?
There's not one with me.
Yeah.
I don't mind lefty.
Either way,
Either
way, it's a good spot to be in for the Yanks.
888-808-1019, BT and Sound on the Fan. We'll come back, get these Yankee calls. Obviously, work the Mets into. We're going to get Dable. We're going to play, try to play, hopefully hear from Dable around 12:30 as he made the decision to go to Dart. So we gave you our opinions yesterday. We'll hear from the coach today. Hey, Sal, 4 distinct all-electric Cadillacs. Some drive them for performance, others for the range. And let's face it, some just like to hop in a Cadillac, and it's a good way to make an entrance to the wedding or the golf course, whatever it might be. You pull up, everybody sees the Caddy. 3 different ways to turn every drive into an occasion. So, whatever your reason, never been a better time to say, hey, let's take the Cadillac.
Yeah, I took the Cadillac last summer. The all-electric Lyriq was my vehicle of choice, and you can check out all the electric Cadillac family of vehicles. You got the Escalade IQ, the Vistic, the Optic, and that Lyriq. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today. The BT and Sal Show is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
This Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute, sponsored by Napa, the pros that know how to keep your business moving at full speed. 6 teams are 0-3 in the NFL. Both New York franchises, Miami, New Orleans, Tennessee, and Houston. But in my eyes, only the Texans still have a viable playoff potential, and that's only because they play in the weak AFC South. Can they catch Indy and Jacksonville? Well, sure they can. We got a long way to go, folks. I'm Boomer Esiason.
From pads and rotors to shocks and struts, coming to a full stop should never mean your business does too. At Napa, we are the pros that know brakes and suspension better than anyone. So when others are grinding their gears, our premium parts and exceptional service deliver results. Whether you're operating a local shop or managing a national fleet, Napa has exactly what you need, when and where you need it. Get the brake and suspension parts you're looking for right now at Napa.
If Old Spice Deep Sea Super Hydration Body Wash were music, what would it sound like? Start with the deep sounds of Old Spice's ocean waves and kelp. Layer on the smooth, renewing moisture. You wouldn't hear any parabens or phthalates because Old Spice Deep Sea hasn't got any. But you would hear that vitamin B3 for healthier looking skin. So while your regular body wash sounds like this, Old Spice sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer you won't want to miss. New customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. You can build parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines. Whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. This NFL season has finally arrived. The only question is, are you ready to play? Visit FanDuel.com/Evan. Download the FanDuel app today and get started. FanDuel.com/Evan. We love the app around here. It's safe and secure, and when you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of WFAN. 21 and over, physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable. Bonus bets expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Lunch was great. Greenwich Village is a fun spot.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
You're on the list for Macy's Fall VIP Sale. That means you're invited to save big on this season's top designer looks at prices you'll love. like an extra 30% off Calvin Klein, Steve Madden, Hugo Boss, and more. Plus, get 15% off beauty and fragrance from Estee Lauder, Lancome, and so many others. This only happens a few times a year. Don't miss the fall VIP sale tomorrow, only at Macy's. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
My name is Maria. Okay, I lied. It's Mary. But I'm feeling more European after my European-style holiday on MSC Cruises. The restaurants, nightlife and shops and La Galleria. And of course, American touches, like a sports bar and water slides. Bellissimo. Okay, this is a problem.
Book now and save up to 30% off, plus kids sale free. MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Looking for Michelin tires at the guaranteed lowest price? Get to Town Fair Tire. Michelin's innovative technologies are designed for durability and performance over any of the toughest road conditions, so you can trust you're getting the highest quality tires. And Town Fair's been a name you can trust since 1967. Now with over 120 locations and still growing, because nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
This city lives and breathes sports. WFAN is where Yankees fans argue with Mets fans, and Giants fans debate Jets fans. Live, loud, and daily. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
All right, guys, Wendy's Yankees turning point of the game contest here on the Fan. BT and Sal. Wendy's, the official hamburger of the Yankees, who did punch the postseason ticket last night. Still trying to get the division, but the first caller to identify correctly last night's turning point, give us a buzz at 866-540-WFAN, 866-540-9326, and you'll receive a pair of tickets to a 2026 Yankees regular season home game. Maybe you get to see Garrett Cole pitch or whatever. Maybe another free agent, all from your flagship station for Yankees baseball, The Fan. So before we get back to the Yankee calls, obviously, 888-808-1019. And we'll get to the Dable stuff, his press conference later. Mets with a sick win. That was incredible. So, again, I'm sure many of you know this, but if you don't, real fast, the Yankees, if they run the table and they go 5-0, then the Jays would have to go 3-2 or worse to win the division. You've got Fried tonight. Rodon, as we talked about yesterday, moved up from Friday to Thursday, which would have him ready to go in one of the first two games for the wild card if necessary. Friday is still open, TBD. Right now it looks like Schlittler Saturday, Louis Heel on Sunday. And the thing is, and I gave you that lineup from the 2022 ALCS against the Astros where it was just pitiful. And it felt, and I remember you were at the Mets-Padres game and I was at the Yankees-Astros, and we were like, this feels like a morgue. Like both stadiums were dead. And I ran through the box score from that night, that Saturday night against the Astros, and the lineup was just absolutely pathetic. Do you realize that there are 8 players on the Yankees with an OPS over 800?
Yeah, I mean, their lineup
800.
It's elite. It's why now the biggest question is going to be, can they get it done in the postseason? But it's why I never gave up faith that they would have a chance to, or hope or belief, whatever you want to use, to win this division. Now, on that, so you said Toronto has to go, if the Yankees run the table here, Toronto's got to go 3-2.
Yeah, or worse, obviously. Yeah, so
right.
Yankees go 5-0,
so
Jays
the Yankees go
3-2.
the Jays go 3-2. The
Yankees win the division.
So the Jays then would have to go 4-1.
Correct.
If the Yankees go 5-0.
Correct, and they just keep popping off the game.
That doesn't make sense, because that would. So the Jays own the tiebreaker.
Hold on, I'm saying if the Yankees go 5-0,
and the Jays
if the Yankees go 5-0 and the Jays go 3-2, then the Yankees win the division. If the Yankees go 4-1 and the Jays go 2-3,
the Yankees would pick up 2 games.
Then the Yankees win the division. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So now the Blue Jays start tonight. Max Scherzer against Garrett Crochet.
Now I'm starting to think,
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't think the Blue Jays could even go forget 4-1. Now, if the Yanks went 4-1, then they'd need Toronto to win, go 2-3
or worse. Yeah.
Which I think is more realistic. I think the Yanks, let's say the Yanks stub their toe a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to run the table.
Right, but, I mean, they might. They very well could, but I don't think anything worse than 4-1. Anything worse than 4-1.
They don't deserve it.
Yeah, probably not going to get it done. They don't deserve it. Let's say they go 4-1. I think Toronto could go 2-3. I mean,
so do I now.
They're playing the pesky Rays.
Yep.
The Red Sox, who have something to play for, facing Garrett Crochet tonight.
I'm with you on that.
I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. Toronto goes 2-3.
Tonight's probably the night. Tonight is probably the night.
Because if they win this one.
Yeah, then now suddenly it gets even worse for the Jays. The Red Sox keep that momentum. Yankees get another win. Like, I feel like tonight, if the Yankees win and the Jays lose, I feel like the Yankees will somehow win this division. I haven't felt that all year.
Unbelievable that, well, it's not really unbelievable. It's actually unbelievable that it's taken this long. But if Toronto gives it back like this and the Yankees go get it from them, God, that would be sweet, especially with all the trash talk from their manager, from their broadcasters.
Yep.
I'd be curious to see what the celebration would be like from the Yankees' perspective. They haven't done a lot of talking.
Mm-hmm.
You know that stuff bothers Boone.
And Judge. Judge is quiet, but Judge doesn't forget that stuff. It does bother Boone. You're right.
It bothered him last year with the Dodgers.
Yes,
he had
it
it in him. He wouldn't let it fully out. But the Blue Jays taking shots. I mean, it bothered Michael Kay to a point where, it was broadcaster on broadcaster stuff. There's going to be a victory. I guarantee you that Michael Kay is sitting. Now, I don't know, Kay. You do. I guarantee you he's sitting on some sort of victory lap or victory dance if, in fact, the Yankees do come back and get that division from the Blue Jays.
I want to hear it, Mike. Let's go. Give us a good one, dude.
I'm not a huge K fan. I'll be honest with you. I'm looking forward to that because I thought he was right in that with the Blue Jays stuff, the Blue Jays nonsense.
So
Ted is calling from Hewlett, New York. What's up, Ted?
Teddy.
Guys, so I got to tell you, I often give you compliments when I come on. And so I just got to say this very quickly. Consider this a paid advertisement for you guys. I listen to fan radio all the time. You guys are my favorite programming by far, not even close. And this today might be my favorite program you guys have ever done. Now, I'm jaded because I'm a Yankees fan, but I love everything you're saying. I really just want to throw in a couple of things very quickly. Number one, in the old days, Yankees had a monster payroll compared to everyone else. It gave them a tremendous advantage. That's why they won World Series all the time. We can't expect that as Yankee fans anymore. Mets have the biggest payroll this year. Dodgers have the second most. And guess what? Yankees and Phillies are around third and fourth. So we don't have the overwhelming payroll compared to everybody else back from the George Steinbrenner days. So we have to be a little more calm. And I just love that you guys are talking positively about the Yankees. Nobody was in the middle of the season when they were losing.
They didn't earn it at that point. Yeah.
Okay, but, it's not fair because it's a long season. Everybody goes on losing streaks. Every single good team that's up there right now had losing streaks at some point during the season.
Especially this year.
Everybody was cash and cash.
But what you have to remember, Ted, and we do appreciate the kind words. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate you listening and appreciate the support. Thanks for taking the time to call.
Absolutely.
You have to remember, it wasn't always like the way that it is now. So much so that we have to evolve. Now, and when you know that they're probably going to be in the playoffs anyway, and once they get there, anything could happen. What has happened definitively now the last couple of seasons, but no more more so than this year, BT, the regular season, and it pains me to say this, the regular season in Major League Baseball basically means nothing. It's just the reality. It means nothing as far as evaluating a team on a day-to-day, even month-to-month basis.
Now, here was the difference, and I'm with you. I mean, unfortunately, but I think the difference this year and why there was a lot of, and justifiably so, let's not get it twisted to the point where what we said when the Yankees were languishing, that we were wrong. We were all right. And the thing that was bothering us is that they were accepting of such bad play from their starting shortstop. If you really think about the highest level of conflict, like the debates and the anger and the confusion and all the stuff that really swallowed up the Yankee universe for about a month or so, we were all sitting here saying, the kid's hitting 200. The kid's booting the ball every night. He looks absolutely lost, and there's no repercussion. And then you factor in Dominguez not growing the way we thought he would. And it's like, oh, my God, come on. What is up with these young Yankee position players? That has always been my greatest pushback.
Stupid mistakes on the base paths, the defense. Like, that was always an issue, too.
Jazz in Miami when he just went off first base. Remember that? He just wandered off first base, and then he said he'd do it again.
There were a lot of legitimate issues. All I'm saying is big picture. Those things used to be, hey, this team's not that good. Like, when that happened regularly for a month or 2 month stretch, you'd say this team's not any good. In today's day and age, it doesn't mean anything because they could just turn it on and get into the postseason. And then once you get in, anything's possible. Like, that's why, to me, yes, we can criticize it in the moment and say, this isn't good enough, this isn't acceptable. But you could also counter and just say, yeah, but so what? They made the postseason like that last year. Like, I did say last year, I don't believe the Yankees are any good. I don't believe in the way they play baseball. Home run or nothing, too many strikeouts, bad defense, not a buttoned-up, clean team. And yet they went to the World Series. So I still believe that they weren't very good last year. I also know the facts that they went to the World Series. So the regular season just does not mean what it used to. And by the way, just to finish up another point where he was saying that the Yankees used to win all the time, win World Series all the time because it was the highest payroll. That's not true. Yes, it did help that they had a significantly higher payroll than all the other teams. I don't believe that that is the reason that they were able to be the most powerful postseason team that we've seen in the last 40 years or whatever it may be of the sport. That dynasty happened because they had great players who were clutch players who played the game hard and played the game the right way. Yes, money helped and payroll helped. That's not the be-all, end-all.
Well, listen, money doesn't draft you Bernie Williams or develop Derek Jeter or Mariano or Pettit or have the foresight to make a pretty good trade, which nobody really lauded at the time, going to get Tino Martinez, who, was a solid player with Seattle, but the Yankees had that vision like, okay, we see a lot more from him. He's a good fielding first baseman. He obviously has power. And then the other moves, whether it's Charlie Hayes or Boggs or Girardi behind the plate with grit, all the moves that they made, and Tim Raines and, all the other Sierra, like Darryl coming in. Like, here's the one thing that this Yankees team has that a lot of the recent Yankee teams has not had, and this is massive if the right levers are hit and these players produce. There are options late in games that the Yankees have not had for a long time. Whether it's Caballero coming in, playing the outfield or playing short or pinch running, whether it's Rosario coming in, hitting against the lefty, doing his thing, playing a couple of different spots. There's some versatility because for too long, the Yankees had a bunch of stiffs on the bench and they don't have that anymore. So they've just become more dangerous. And I think that, listen, even Austin Wells, who was languishing for months, started pretty well, then he was invisible. You don't think that Ben Rice getting some reps behind the plate kicked him in the ass and said, hey, you're on the precipice of losing your job, buddy. You better wake up. Maybe it wasn't quite said that way, but he's not an idiot. He knows that Ben Rice is getting some time behind the plate. And guess what? While Ben Rice is hit, so is Austin Wells, and I don't know if there's a correlation there, but competition's a good thing. Same with Caballero and Volpe. Volpe's been better since the cortisone shot. They just have more quality players.
You want to work the Mets into the conversation now?
Dude, honestly, I don't know how you're not excited. I thought last night was unbelievable. I thought that was one of the wildest baseball games that I've ever seen. And I said yesterday, I think that the Mets are going to get into the postseason. Now I'm guaranteed that they're going to get to the postseason. You saved your season. Oh, come on.
I'll give you my thoughts when we come back. BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019.
It's Evan and Kiki. Afternoons on the Fan, 1019 FM.
Cameron Scatterboo, you're a baller, dude. I give you your respect because you run hard as hell. And you talked about your physicality on the pregame show that we were hosting with John Schmelk. How physicality transfers.
Listen to Evan and Kiki on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
At Straight Talk, we get it. You say no a lot.
Mom, can I get a tarantula?
No.
Coffee?
No. So we're giving you more reasons to say yes, like a free 5G phone with real unlimited data with select plan activation.
Can I use the free phone?
Yes. See? Doesn't it feel good to say yes to more?
Absolutely. Face tattoo?
Absolutely not. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Taxes and fees apply. In-store activation of Gold Unlimited plan or higher required. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
I gotta try that Febreze car.
Just right, just right, just right. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency. On low Febreze car clips right on your fit. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face when it smells just right, just right,
201-450-4263. Hi, I'm Dr. Glenn Gedgerman, and that's my cell phone number. If you've been recently diagnosed with prostate cancer, please call me directly at 201-450-4263. For more than 20 years, my team and I have helped prostate cancer patients at John Theurer Cancer Center's Radiation Oncology Department, now one of the largest programs of its kind in New Jersey. If you have prostate cancer, call my cell, day or night, at 201-450-4263. That's 201-450-4263. At John Theurer Cancer Center, we use TomoTherapy's unique guided radiotherapy to precisely focus on the prostate gland. Our treatments can be safely completed in a shorter period of time with fewer side effects and better sexual function. Call my cell at 201-450-4263. I'll make sure you're seen within 48 hours. John Theurer Cancer Center, a division of Hackensack Meridian Health.
Tune in for the Yankees' first pitch presented by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees.
We're talking New York sports. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Stations.
WFAN Sports Flash.
And this report brought to you by Duke's Mayonnaise. Well, the Mets beat the Cubs last night 9-7. New York trailed 6-1 after 4. Battled back big home runs from Brandon Nimmo and Francisco Alvarez. Here's Carlos Mendoza as his team moves ahead of the Reds and remains a game ahead of the Diamondbacks as well for the third wild card spot. Cincinnati lost while Arizona won. So, Mr. Manager, are you paying attention to what those teams are doing?
I'm going to be honest with you. Like, there's so much I'm managing it. I'm trying to piece it together since the second inning. Like, I'm not looking up, I found out they lost after the game. Still, we got to continue to control our thing here, continue to win baseball games, and, we'll see what happens.
Mets got good relief pitching last night after David Peterson struggled. Edwin Diaz, the 6-out save. Jonah Tong to start tonight for the Mets on Mets Odyssey Radio. Meantime, the Yankees clinched the playoff spot with their win over the White Sox 3-2. Jose Caballero with the game-winning RBI single. Anthony Volpe, a couple of hits, including a single in the ninth, and he would score the tying run on a wild pitch. Max Fried to start tonight. The Yankees now a game behind Toronto for first place in the AL East as the Blue Jays lost to the Red Sox 4-1. Guardians and Tigers all even atop the AL Central, if you can believe that. Tigers dropped their 7th straight, losing to Cleveland 5-2. MLB implementing the challenge system for balls and strikes coming up next season, and we'll hear from Giants head coach Brian Daboll in about an hour and a half. He meets the media at 12:30. All the reports are that Jaxson Dart has been told he will start Sunday against the Chargers. This report brought to you by Motion Sports Medicine. Is pain stopping you from doing what you love? Physical therapists at Motion create a personalized plan that can get you moving safely and confidently again. No referral needed. Most insurance is accepted. Find a location near you and schedule an appointment today at motionptg.com. 74 in Central Park. That's what's happening. I'm Jerry Recco.
Tri-State Cadillac dealer, official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets. So about those Mets, I'm not getting fooled by them. I know you're excited about the win. It was a great win. I still don't believe they're making it. Remember, too, not just the Mets who had a comeback win last night. The Diamondbacks had a tremendous comeback win. They were down 4-0 late in that game against the Dodgers. Ohtani was shutting them down early. They came back and won. So now as it stands, the Mets have a 1-game lead over two teams that both own the tiebreaker over the Mets with 5 to play. And in that game that everybody's so excited about last night, now, what I will say is kudos to Francisco Alvarez, who learned from his mistakes, BT. This time he actually hit it over the fence. That's what you're supposed to do. Not to where the guy could go catch it. You actually hit it over the fence. So good for Alvarez learning from his mistakes. Hit it over the fence and you'll get robbed by a measly catch in center field. That's number one. But really, they should have been down 6-1 to begin with. David Peterson can't get anybody out. So I'm supposed to be excited and believe in this team that
I get it, because one win doesn't take consistencies, which have been alarmingly bad for most of this season. But I'll tell you what I thought watching that game. When last year, when Pete dropped the pop-up in Milwaukee, we all thought, that's the end of Pete, that's the end of the Mets. And last night, when McNeil, on the second error, on the diving play to his left, that I thought, by the way, Pete should have made the play on the first base, whatever. He missed it by a couple of inches. It goes into the dugout. I had the same feeling that the Mets season was over. And just like in Milwaukee, they somehow
and now I'm not going to get on Soto like that's par for the course, but it just shows you that they're not. They have played an awful brand of baseball, and I am not going to get fooled. You want to be fooled? Met fans want to be fooled by this? So be it. They won a game last Sunday on a walk-off, and everybody was fooled by that. Not me. They won a series against the Padres. Everybody started to get fooled by that. Not me. Getting fooled by one measly win against the Cubs, which, by the way, took an incredible comeback, which I don't believe that they have in them anymore. I mean, you hope that that's the case. They just haven't done it all this year. But they get down again 6-1. They're losing the game. Took an incredible comeback and an incredible, unlikely effort from the bullpen. Brazoban, Stanek, 2 innings from Diaz. It took a lot for the Mets to be able to overcome that performance last night and win a singular game. They've got 5 more to go, and they're going to have to win. You'd say, well, how many of those 5 games do you think they're going to have to win?
I think they're to have to win. I would say 4. Okay. It's a lock. 3. Right. I still think they're in decent shape.
Okay, now remember, if they don't have the tiebreaker.
I know.
So if they go 3-2 and the other teams go 4-1,
I get it.
They're in trouble. Now, I don't even know if they're going to get 3 wins, but at least you'd feel, okay, well, if they go 3-2, it would take a 4-2 from either the Reds or Diamondbacks to beat you.
Correct.
Which is not, a 4-1. 4-1 from either of those teams to beat you, which would be tough to ask. I think one of those teams could go 4-1. I'm not even sure the Mets could go 3-2.
Okay, so you say you're not about to be fooled. I got you. To me, I don't think it's about being fooled. I think it's about reacting to everything.
Right.
And part of it has been like the Mets' talent, which, again, I think it's a little bit overstated. We've had that debate, whatever, but they clearly have some top-level talent in a lot of spots. Back into the bullpen, first couple of hitters, we know who they are, right? So, to me, it's also about the Reds, who lost to the Pirates and are facing Skeens today. Now, I know the Diamondbacks are still there as well. I'm happy. Just a couple of things from the game real fast that I circled. So, you could talk about the big home runs, Nemo, Alvarez, Lindor as well, big clutch, all the things that happened. To me, Brazoban is the hero of the game.
Right.
Because I know he gave up the 1 run, but it's 5-1, then he gives up the little cheapie, make it 6-1. If he doesn't get, I think he got 8 outs, 9 outs. It was 8 outs, right? Yeah, he went 2 2/3. So to me, if he doesn't deliver those 8 outs, the Mets probably wind up losing 11-3 because they're in the wrong part of their bullpen. They're lower leverage arms, and then the season very well might be over. That's number one. So props to him. That very well may have resuscitated the Mets season. The play with Soto. Now, I am never reluctant to hit a player for a sloppy play. And that looked sloppy. It was.
The wind.
I know you don't want to hear it.
It's a fly ball to right field,
I get it. I just hear me out. And I don't think Soto, he had one go into his glove the other day. I don't think he's a good outfielder. You know that, okay? But Soto, I remember seeing the flags when they panned back, coming back from SNY. And they were fairly benign. They were not whipping at all. And then when they went to break, and Gary Cohen's not one to make excuses, they panned again to the flags, and they were whipping up, and they were whipping out deep to right field. Now, you factor in there's no cushion with the Ivory. Mm-hmm. The wind suddenly picked up. I'm not saying that it's you got to make the play, but if he does, and there was an 18% hit probability, which means there's basically 80% chance that you should catch the ball. I'm not saying it was an easy play. You probably got to make the play. But if he does make the play, then Peterson probably has a better outing because then he's not out of the game. Then he's 2 innings in the books and he's got no runs given up.
It will happen in the next inning.
Well, I understand that, but it didn't help with what Soto did.
The Mets used 1, 2, 3, 4,
6 guys, right?
6 guys out of the bullpen, one of which Diaz for 2 innings.
Yeah, who's probably shot for tonight now, unfortunately.
Okay, so then I ask you this. It's great that they won last night. What a great comeback. Okay, season saved. Well, who's pitching tonight? What, is Jonathan going to go 7, 8 innings? He can't.
He did the last time out. Why not?
Okay, well, let's see.
He's going to have to, pretty much. That's the point.
Even if he does, he's going to have to. So now you're relying on a rookie who's been inconsistent. One day he can't get out of the first inning. The next day he's spinning a gem for the most part. Okay, well, which one are we going to get? And I would lean toward, let's say, somewhere in between. And that's going to go to the bullpen. Is their offense going to hit enough tonight? I mean, I just don't trust them. They still have work to do. Having a 1-game lead with 5 games to go is not good enough. And maybe the bigger point is they've already upset me for the year. I've held out, and I think I've been as fair as anybody and real as anybody. Like, this is not some positive BS. I'm being real here with what I believe in this team. And I believe that they were going to make the playoffs a lot longer than most people. And it got to a point where I couldn't believe it anymore. And they and their play has made me mad to a point where I'm out on them. I'm out. Like, I don't even want to hear it. Get to the postseason bare minimum. And then I wouldn't be taking bows. They could celebrate. I'd still be saying, good, yeah, good. You aggravated everybody in the process. You barely made it. With your highest payroll, you barely made the playoffs. And now you got to go play a tough series on the road. Like, that's good? No matter what happens the rest of the way, it is a failure of epic proportions of the regular season. Now, it better end in the postseason, meaning with them in the postseason. Then that's going to be a whole nother evaluation. But they've already ruined any good feel about a regular season as far as I'm concerned.
I'm just reacting to last night. You know what I mean? Like, last night's out, I really couldn't believe what I was watching. When they fall behind 6-1, I said, my God, it's over.
Think about that.
It's over. McNeil, I don't know what happened when he was trying to turn. I guess it slipped out of his hand. The first error when he threw it into the dugout. Then the other one where he made a nice dive and stop, and he threw it past Pete. I do think Pete's got to make that play because I think his foot was in the middle of the bag rather than the corner of the bag. That's a little subtlety. Hernandez makes that play. Good fielding for Rico Bronya makes that play. He was just choppy and heavy-footed, sloppy play, so I'm going to put that on Pete, myself. The Soto miscue in right field, okay. But at least and I'm not trying to convince you, I know where you stand, and this is not some sort of, trying to, recalibrate the thoughts of the Met fans that have been disgusted by this season. It has been an unmitigated disaster for 4 months. I acknowledge that. I got that. And when they get to the playoffs, I don't think they're going far. But the Reds are going to face Skeens today. Mm-hmm. The Cubs just lost 4 at home. I believe it was in Chicago. I know they lost 4 to the Reds. So the team the Mets are playing right now, they're not even playing well. The Mets had an epic comeback last night, something they haven't done much this year at all. I'm just saying, I do think they get to the playoffs.
Maybe.
That's all I'm saying.
And I'm just saying,
that was a character win, man. They could have lost 11-2.
Again, the result was great that they won. If you actually watched the game, and I know you did, I'm just saying, like, if you pay attention to that, it was awful. The starting pitching was awful. There's no way I would rely on the bullpen to do that again. The defense awful. Look at that outfield.
Yeah. I mean, Nimmo played center for the first time all year.
They got Brandon Nimmo in center.
But you got Taylor coming back today. He's healthy. So you got your defensive center fielder back.
Yeah, okay, and then that's going to take away from the offense.
I know. Listen, I think, and we'll get to these calls.
Marte in left, with Nimmo in center, Marte in left, and Soto in right. That has to be the worst defensive.
Like it. I don't like that outfield at all. No, that's not that. You're not going anywhere with that. You're not going to see that again the rest of the year. Playoffs or the last 5. Here's the complicated, and this is more of a downstream thing because you got to win tonight. You got to win. But Peterson is scheduled to start Sunday. So
can't start anyway. We should have started last night.
I know, but so I am trying to look at this in multi-layers. The context of the overall Mets season, which has been an overriding failure, as we all know. Last night, which was amazing. The opportunity still in front of them, but also the impediment still in front of them.
Yeah, right.
Because I do think Tom will give them a chance to win the game tonight, like I thought he would give them last time out, and he did. Now, Peterson's scheduled for Sunday. Thursday's McClain, who's a horse I love. We all love him. Friday's TBD, and right now it is Saturday Manaea, at least loosely. They haven't committed to this, but loosely, just pushing this forward. Manaea Saturday, Peterson Sunday. That's what should worry you.
Yeah, well, that does worry me. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was one game. Great win. Great win. Needed it. If they didn't have that, it would be over. Great win. There's still a lot. Still got 5 games to go. They're patching it together. Sports Talk on WFAN is presented by Paramount Plus. Sylvester Stallone is back in the original hit series Tulsa King. This season, Dwight faces his most dangerous adversaries yet, forcing him to fight for everything he's built and to protect his empire. Stream the new season of Tulsa King now exclusively on Paramount Plus. Back to the Yankee calls. Neil is in the Bronx. What's up, Neil?
Hey, what's up, gentlemen?
Hey.
Our boys are back in town. Hey, as far as the Yankees are concerned, they led the majors with the most home runs. And the lineup is deep enough to go deep into the playoffs and even probably win the World Series. But we need Aaron Judge to be Aaron Judge. We need him to have a clutch postseason because that's one thing that's missing in his resume. If he can do that, if he can give us the real Aaron Judge, this lineup is good enough to put up monstrous numbers to just blow out these teams.
Well, I listen, Aaron Judge is a story that is going to be discussed every day. Every at-bat, if he gets off to a 1-for-9 start in whether it's the wild card division, whatever it might be, He's going to hear some boos. I mean, whether it's right or wrong, it is what it is. But the difference, and I don't disagree with your main part, Judge has to join the party and be Judge at some point for a few games this October. But I do think we would probably all agree that they're better equipped to navigate an 0 for 4 from Judge than they have been in years past.
I still think they're going to need him, though, to win a World Series. Like, even if it's for just carrying a series, and obviously we don't even know. Like, we were assuming it was going to be wild card series for a while. If they win the division, it changes everything.
It does.
Let the other teams go beat themselves up. You take a deep breath. You reset. And I don't know who the opponent's going to be, obviously, in that first round. But, man, that changes everything from a Yankees perspective. Either way, Judge, to me, is going to have to do, at some point, you know, it's been since 2017, and I felt after watching the 2017 Yankees coming out of nowhere, baby bombers, Judge going nuts, I have legitimately felt more often than not until the last couple years that every year since 2017 they were going to win the World Series. 2018 I thought it, 2019 I thought it, 2020 I thought it, 2021 was maybe the first year I was like, not so sure. And it was mainly because of Aaron Judge and his presence and his dominance. And we just have not seen that in the postseason, period. He talked about it last night, saying that he lost a lot of sleep with the performance last year. It's got to be different, BT. At some point, it's got to be different for Judge in the postseason. And while they may be deeper and better suited to handle his struggles in the playoffs, I still think ultimately to win the World Series, they're going to need him to get close to what he's done in the regular season.
Listen, Sal, I'm just a staunch believer, and if you are great, okay, even if it's intermittent greatness, and baseball is certainly an intermittent kind of sport where you're up and down and all over the map, the more chances you get to prove the greatness, if you truly are great, you're going to eventually pop through.
Right.
Now, that doesn't mean, listen, Aaron Judge, Yankees could get back to the World Series. Judge could hit .417 with 5 home runs and 11 RBIs, and the Yankees are losing 7. Like, there's no guarantee that they would win the World Series, but I have always believed, as much as I was all over him a year ago, dropping the ball, not hitting, he was horrendous last October. There's just, I just can't accept until I have to, if he retires and he just doesn't do it, that he doesn't step up in October as a Yankee. He has to, and he's going to.
Yeah, you have to feel at some point it's going to happen. Jim is calling from Johnson City. What's up, Jim?
Hey, Jim.
In Tennessee.
Hey, fellas, love the show, man.
Thanks, you.
Jim.
Yeah, just you guys get me through the day every day.
Appreciate
just wanted to touch on something for you, and maybe you can do a little more research than I have opportunity to, but maybe we finally figured out what Volpe is. Now, man, this season obviously frustrated the snot out of me, you know, just trying to deal with his ups and his downs and the goalie that he got into. And, you know, but every time he has some time off, whether it's look back in his 3-year career, starts the season, he's hot as all get out.
That's true.
You know, after the All-Star break, he goes to that 2-3 week sparn where he's just, you know, hitting everything.
Yeah.
Base hits, right field,
couple
all
of home
that.
runs.
So maybe he's not 155, 160 game player. Maybe he's only 135, 140. You know, maybe that's where we need to go with him.
Well, now they could with Caballero here. The problem is that, they never had a backup.
Yeah, but you got to, you know, you play him for 2 weeks, you get a day off, give him the day before or the day after.
Yeah, well, that's a
break.
Yeah, but but that doesn't change the postseason usage. And Jim, thanks for the call. Appreciate you reaching out in Tennessee. If that's not a Tennessee expression, annoyed the snot out of me. I don't know what is. Thank you, Jim. Like, let me ask you this, Sal. I want you to answer this because Volpe, since the cortisone shot, has played better. He's hit better. He's played better. He's looked better. Let's say he does not amazingly, but he does well the rest of the way. And when Caballero, final 5 games, and when Caballero plays, he plays well in addition. Who starts game 1?
Yeah, it's a tough question. I would, and I know this is going to sound crazy coming from me, but under the assumption that Volpe looks the way that he's looked here since he had that shot, I'm playing Volpe because I think his high end, like, I would not have built the team this way. I would have sent them down to the minors, but here we are. And the way that their team is built, I would roll with the guy who I believe has the better upside and at least showed that it's not falling off the rails the way that it did. Now, you run the risk of he's going to throw it in the dirt, he's going to struggle and look like his old self, and then you have a quick hook maybe and you go to Caballero. Caballero, to me, is an exciting bench player and a weapon off the bench.
Yeah, well, that's why I agree, but I was going to fixate and I should say focus on the last part there. To me, if you have Volpe starting, and I believe that that's what they'll do, and I believe that's what they should do at this point because he's showing some signs of waking up, as we said, but you're you're going to be able to deploy Caballero many different ways that can impact the game. Whether it's, pinch hitting, I would feel a lot better pinch hitting Caballero than I would Volpe in the right spot. Getting down a bunt, stealing a bag, obviously going out to play the outfield, going out to play short, whatever it might be. So I just think that the diversity in Caballero game is more of a weapon in the late innings than Volpe. And because Volpe's playing better, I think that they will start him, and I think that they should.
Yeah, plus the success he had in the postseason last year. Like, there's a lot of reasons for it. You run the risk of having it fall apart, but I think that Volpe's starting it short, which is shocking. Saying that, especially coming from me, who wanted him down in the minor leagues, I think they would probably be better off having him starting game one. All right, BT and Sal on the Fan. We'll get more of your calls when we come back. 888-808-1019, the number to call.
Every Saturday at 8 a.m., it's Kickoff with Boomer and Mike Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL.
I look forward to breaking down that game with you, but I know we do have some NFL news to get into and talk about.
Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on Odyssey, TuneIn, and the iHeartRadio app.
Hey, New Yorkers, fast, reliable internet can be yours when you switch to Fios. For a limited time, combine Fios home internet and one line of mobile for just $69.99 a month. Get unlimited welcome for $50 a month with autopay plus taxes and fees when you bring your phone. And add Fios 300 megabytes per second for $19.99 a month with autopay, mobile plus discount, and bonus discount. Visit your tri-state area Verizon store today to get this limited time offer and switch to our reliable 100% fiber optic 5G network. Fios, for eligible new Fios internet and mobile customers. Both the $15 monthly discounts for Fios and Bring Your Phone applied over 36 months. Mobile and home discount enrollment required. $99 Fios setup charge applies. For unlimited welcome, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic in times of congestion. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit TremfyaRadio.com.
Has a yellow lid and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
Diving for that grounder got you grounded? We've got specialists for that. Layup, take you down? We've got specialists for that. With 45 Castle Connolly top doctors, Orland & Cohen specialists are considered among the best in the nation by their peers, which can mean a better outcome for you. From Staten Island to Southampton, our network is open 7 days a week, so you can feel better, faster. Visit OrlandCohen.com.
Ready for a smarter way to heat your home and save on energy costs? Go with Petro. Upgrade to a new energy-efficient heating system with the latest technology to help you save now and for years to come. With easy financing, $0 down, and low monthly payments, better comfort and savings are all within reach. And trust your local HVAC pros at Petro for expert installation and best-in-class service. Don't miss this deal for a new heating system. Go to Petro.com now or call 1-888-PETRO02 today. That's 1-888-PETRO02.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on the Fan.
We could tell you what it's like to drive the Nissan Rogue and tell you all about its performance capabilities, like its VC turbo engine. It's I can go virtually anywhere type of freedom. Nice. But you don't have to take our word for it. Go drive it for yourself. You're up. Experience the power of the Nissan Rogue.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Get 0% APR for 60 months on the 2025 Nissan Rogue, Pathfinder, or Murano. Visit your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. For well-qualified buyers, example, 0 down payment, 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to Nissan Motor Acceptance Company credit approval, not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends September 30th, 2025.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium iced or hot coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions, participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Injured in an accident? You need help. The Rothenberg Law Firm. Lawyers that have built a legacy of victory over 5 decades, winning billions for their clients. The Rothenberg Law Firm. Call 1-800-624-8888 or visit injurylawyer.com.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey
BT and Sal back on the Fan. 888-808-1019 is the number to call. We have a little 3-hour queue coming up in about 12 minutes, as we do every Wednesday at 11:40, so we'll have some fun with that. We'll get back to the calls here. Yanks, Mets. One other thing, BT. We talk about it as far as the Yankees winning the division, the possible matchup, and you mentioned it before, the MVP thing. Think about this. The Mariners, and we talked about the fan base. Which fan base would you rather be? Obviously, from a Yankee fan perspective, very few, if any, would you rather be a different fan base. The Seattle Mariners have had a tremendous season. That's one fan base that you could appreciate, at least. You wouldn't want to be them because they missed the postseason forever, but finally clinching a postseason spot, going to win that division in the AL. Did they actually clinch the division or just no, they clinch a postseason spot. They have a 4-game lead over the Astros. Cal Raleigh having an MVP type year. Been a great season for them, and I do think they could be dangerous with their pitching. But do you think that Raleigh deserves the MVP over Aaron Judge based on the fact that he took a team, led a team to the postseason for the first time in how many years, 25 years, whatever it is, that the Mariners finally got over the hump?
I don't. So I don't really lean into that, and I also don't lean into the fact that now he's had an amazing season. I'm not trying to downplay it at all, but the one thing you hear is, one thing that you do hear is he's had an all-time season for a catcher, which is undeniable. but I don't really look at it that way. I look at it just what you did as a player. Now, I understand why people say that. I mean, the rigors of catching, obviously you got a squat. It should take away from your offense because your legs are tired. You're getting nicked up with foul balls, blah, blah, blah. I understand why people say that, but I don't give more points because you played a more difficult position. So outside of the home runs, Judge has them across the board, the OPS, the on base, which is ridiculous, and the batting average clearly. So I think it's Judge. I think the Judge should win it fairly going away. I don't know if he will, but to me it's Judge.
Wow. Yeah, I would go Cal Raleigh. And by the way, they did make the postseason a couple years ago. I meant division, where they haven't won the division in, whatever it is, since 2001. Dude, you have a catcher that performs like that. Like, I go by the most valuable player. The best player is Aaron Judge. The most valuable, like if you took Aaron Judge off of the Yankees, I still believe they would be a playoff team. We talk about World Series winning team. Yeah. Look at the team. They're loaded. I mean, Aaron Judge has been great, but the Yankees, this is not to me the way that Judge and Soto carried them a year ago. This is different. Judge has had a monster year, but even when they were having success, when he came back from the injury, he still wasn't doing well. And
yeah,
the
they still quiet.
Yeah, so it's not knocking Judge, not minimizing what he's doing or his importance. I just think if you take Cal Raleigh off the Mariners, they're a dead team walking. So by that definition, for a team that hasn't won their division since 2001, he's hitting, what is he at now? 56 home runs, 57, 58 home runs. I mean, for a catcher to hit 58 home runs and take a team to win their division for the first time in 25 years or 24 seasons, that to me is worthy of a most valuable player, even if you're not as good a player as Aaron Judge.
Well, I boil it down to this, and it's a very simple math equation. Now, we could disagree on the end result here, even though it's hard to disagree with math, but it's not really math. It's baseball math. So if you take player X off team Y, what has the more adverse impact here? And that's something that in this case could support you. Right. Because if you take Cal Raleigh off Seattle,
they're done, yeah.
They're
the
done.
Only thing that I would argue.
Yeah. And that's really, if you think about, if you boil it down, I like to use that equation because that generally does boil it down to the truest form of the value.
Correct.
Not outstanding, not best here.
Best season, no.
Yeah, but I also have to remain true, which I'm going to. The numbers that I've always valued here, I've always leaned on OPS, and it's not even close. I mean, listen, Cal Raleigh's OPS is very good. Now, is Cal Raleigh a really good defensive catcher, or is he a guy who plays catcher and has a ton of home runs? So the other things, I don't get wrapped up in, like, again, the style points or not even style points, but additional bonus points for because you play a more taxing defensive position or because the team hasn't been good in 25. Like, it's not Judge's fault that Seattle hasn't gotten their act together more than the Yankees have. And I do
but it just makes him, but it makes Cal Raleigh more valuable.
I understand that to an extent. I'm granting you that to an extent. I really do. I think it's close. Like, I don't think that Judge should win this in an absolute landslide, and I don't think that he will. I do think that he'll win it. I do think he'll win it a little more comfortably than some. But Cal Raleigh's had an all-time year. I'm not trying to take it away from him.
I think Judge has had a tremendous season. Obviously, you can mention, look at the numbers. Hey, whoever I would vote for, usually they go the other way anyway. Like, to me, Ohtani cannot be the most valuable player last year. He didn't even play the field at all. Meanwhile, if you take Francisco Lindor off the Mets, they're not a playoff team. So, by definition of most valuable, to me, it was clearly Francisco Lindor, but Ohtani won it. So, I mean, you could take Judge off the Yankees, and maybe the Yankees wouldn't be in the same spot without Judge. I still think they'd be a playoff team. I know if you took Cal, like, look at what the Mariners have done historically without a season like this from one of their players. That's why I would go most valuable. Adam is in South Jersey. What's up, Adam?
What's up, dudes? Good to talk to you as always.
Nice.
Hope you guys are well.
Yeah. What's up, buddy?
Hey, listen, first, man, as far as the Yankees, I want to give this from a similar perspective BT has. I'm a Jet fan, and I'm 56 years old, and my whole life, there's only one thing I can rely on. And that's that the Yankees are going to make it competitive, and they're going to get in the playoffs, and that they're going to give me some smiles along the way, even if they don't accomplish the mission. So Yankee fans, don't be greedy and silly. Enjoy this. They're in the playoffs. They might win the division, and I agree with you, BT. It's just a matter of time before Judge goes nuts in the postseason. And this could be the year. Every year could be the year. This could be the year, and I'm excited to watch the playoffs. As far as the deficiencies, every team in baseball has deficiencies. I think these series now benefit the Yankees because a couple of their starters become relievers. Something that's been a big problem for them, which is, until they bridge it to the 8th, 9th is going to disappear because you're going to have reliable guys that can come in for an inning or two in those situations and slow it down.
Yeah.
And I got one more thing for Sal. Sal, if the Mets don't do this, you know what the postseason is going to be like? No soda.
Yeah, you're right. And thank you for the call, Adam. Yeah, you're right. Just like the All-Star game. But the difference is I could not watch the All-Star game. No Soto, no Sal. No Soto in the postseason, Sal's showing up. Might show up at Yankee Stadium, as a matter of fact.
Didn't you go last year to a game?
I did. I don't know if I want to go back this year.
Why?
It's a lot to get there, the hassle.
Mitch was texting me yesterday, by the way.
About what, the Yankees?
About going to a Yankee playoff game with him.
He was all bothered because it's being played on Yom Kippur. So that's what he called the other day.
He said, though, he said he wanted to go to a game, so he's already kicking the tires on that.
Are you going to go?
I always go. I just don't know if I'm going to go with Mitch. No, I don't mean it like that. That's not. I didn't mean it to go.
Now you didn't go last year, did you?
Oh, no, I went to when Volpe hit the Grand Slam. I went to the World Series. I took my son.
Oh, okay. I went because I was like, I went to plenty of games. I don't remember you being there.
Oh yeah, I went to the World Series the year in 2022. I went to the Astros game, the ALCS. I always go to at least one.
No, I'm saying last year. Last year I went to one.
I remember.
In each of the first 2 rounds.
I didn't.
But I didn't go to the World Series.
I just went to the World Series.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, listen, just bigger picture for a sec with the Yankees here. Of course, we all expect Judge eventually to crack through because greatness usually does, especially if you're, authentic in your approach and you're not taking shortcuts. Like, he's a worker, he's a grinder, he's incredibly talented. That's going to have to play itself on the big stage at some point. But I would think that everybody would feel pretty good about this. Not that it guarantees anything, but the Yankees are if that even makes sense, like from a syntax, less reliant on the home run this year than they've been since, I don't know, pick a time.
Or just that they could beat you different ways.
Well, it's the same thing.
They're still relying on home runs. They hit a bunch of home runs. That's their greatest strength. So I wouldn't say that they're not relying on home runs. I just feel like maybe now they're a little bit better suited to beat you in different ways, whether it's speed, whether it's just top-end starting pitching.
Even defense, which doesn't seem logical because they were booting the ball around a lot this year at one point here. Yeah, I mean, I think that it's going to be interesting to see what starter doesn't start. I mean, you'd have to think, well, it's going to be Fried, it's going to be Rodon 1-2. I would think it's going to be Schlittler 3. You have Heald or Warren coming out of the pen. I mean, they got some options.
Sean calling from Yonkers. What's up, Sean?
Hello, Sean.
Hey, what's up, boys? How are we doing?
Good. How are you?
All right. So I think last night was like game 161 last year for the Mets. I think we're going to make it. I do. I think it's a shot in the arm. I think it's a boost. I know it seems crazy. I'm a Mets fan. Look, we have a history of just, completely booting it around and showing, a deficiency everywhere, basically defensively. But look, we have a great offense. Despite the pitching, we have to overcome that, and last night, I think we did. We showed fight. We do have an easier schedule. The Reds still have to go through the Pirates. They lost last night. The Diamondbacks still have to go through the Dodgers. Look, I'm just trying to be positive. Sal, please get on the same page with me here, man. You were doing this a week and a half ago. You were the same thing as me, saying, "Oh yeah, we're going to be in." If the season were to end, we're in.
All right,
we only have 5 games. Come on, Sal, we got this.
Begging you, Sal.
Listen, but let's just talk this out, Sean, because I'm going to be real with you.
I'm begging everybody as a Mets fan.
Do you really forget your hope and what you want to happen? Do you really, deep down, believe that this team that we've watched play this brand of baseball for this long, do you really believe that they're going to finish strong here these final 5 games?
I do in my heart of hearts because I think these 3 kids are very good, especially McLean and Sproul. And Tong only had 1 bad outing. I really do believe that we're going to make it in.
Okay, good.
And I think, look, I know it's 5 games left, but if we get hot at the right time, we can make a run. Why not?
Well,
Last year, we didn't even have Soto when we made a run.
That's a different story, Sean. I'll meet you in the middle, and thank you for the call, and good luck to your Mets. I will reserve judgment on whether the Mets can go on a run or not in the postseason when, in fact, they get there. My belief has been that they have the proper pieces in place to go on a postseason run if they get there. My belief on them getting there has changed. It started with that Saturday night loss. McLean is on the mound. Soto hits his 40th home run, 2-0 lead late in that game, and they blow that game. Like, that to me is just... I just didn't believe. I'm not faking it. I'm not faking positivity. I could come on and say, yeah, I think they're going to make it. Or I could have stayed through and stuck with what I was saying if I truly believed it. I could have went against even my beliefs and just said, yeah, I think they're going to make it. I'm just being honest with how I feel. I do not trust this team. I don't believe they're going to make it. It seemed easy Sunday when Alonso had the walk-off. Seemed easy when they beat the Padres 2 out of 3. And it seems easy now.
Yep.
But how about against the Nationals? I'm not forgetting that. How about the 5 games remaining? We could have more of what we saw against the Nationals. That's what I really believe is going to happen. Unfortunately, BT, I want them to get there more than anybody. I just don't believe it's going to happen.
Listen, here's the bottom line. The evidence has been more overwhelming on the negative side for the Mets this year than on the positive side here. So I've always said I get that because I'm really not that. I'm aligned with you in terms of how we view this team.
And it's not a history woe is Mets.
No, I know it's not. I get that. I understand that. Here's the one thing why last night felt a little different to me, and we'll see what it means moving forward here. The thing, and you all know the stat, I think it's 0 for 67 now, right? Yeah, the Mets with no comeback wins
After the 8th or whatever.
After the 8th, we're going into the 9th, 0 and 67. One of the things, and I took a lot of heat for this, Met fans didn't like it, but I stood by it, and because I saw it and I felt it. I didn't think the Mets showed a lot of character this year. They didn't seem very connected, all right? They just seemed like they were kind of drifting in a lot of different directions, and I didn't see the energy and the camaraderie and again, the connectivity that I think was very emblematic of was really their DNA last year. Last night, to me, is a character win, almost to the point where I think I feel better about last night than if they would have come out and just won 11-0 and there would have been nothing in their path that they would have had to overcome. The way the season's gone, they threw 2 balls in the dugout. I mean, Soto was on skates in right field. Your starting pitcher got 4 outs. The Mets had every reason to feed into the negative noise, which they've earned, and the energy this year and say, you know what, it's just ain't our year, man. We don't have it. Everybody's hurt. We're not good enough. Instead, they gave you the best win of the season. That's a ray of hope.
Hoff, have you changed your mind on this? You've been negative for a while with this team, not thinking they're going to make the postseason. Where are you at after that?
Yeah, they haven't proved anything yet. Good for them for winning a game.
You know, maybe the better question is, what would it take? I mean, there's 5 games left, so even if they won tonight, okay, you could start doing the math. I need to see more. I don't even get to the postseason. There's nothing's going to change my mind unless they actually do it right now.
No, but hold on now. We talk about, so then that's when you celebrate. Because we talk about the checkpoints with the Yankees.
Yeah, well, if they get there, it's different.
If they get there, and
they've made it so bad that I can't even enjoy it if they do. That's what I'm mad at. They've ruined any enjoyment. It shouldn't be like this. It shouldn't be coming down to the final days again, barely hanging on. Now, if they do get in, I do think they should celebrate, and I think fans should celebrate. I don't know where emotionally I'm going to be at because I'm still aggravated with this team. But yes, that's a huge checkpoint. All right, at least they did it. They didn't fold up. They check the box, get into the postseason, then reassess.
Got the young kid going tonight. You got Skeens going against the Reds. I'm telling you, they're going.
The Diamondbacks are the team that I'd be watching out for. BT and Sal, the Fan. We come back. 3 random questions.
I look forward to that. Hey, guys, FanDuel's getting you ready for kickoff with an offer that you don't want to miss here. New customers can bet $5 to get $300 back in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet $5, and if it wins, you're going to unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the different platforms on the app. And let's face it, if you want to bet something, you can find it on FanDuel, whether it's a parlay, player props, ride the live lines, which is always fun. Whatever your style is, FanDuel's got you covered. The NFL season's finally here, as we know. Maybe not for the local teams here, but it is here, I promise you. The only question is, are you ready to play? Visit FanDuel.com/BT. That's FanDuel.com/BT. Download the FanDuel app today and jump in and get started. That's FanDuel.com/BT. Love the app around here. I've been telling you about it for years. It is safe and secure, and when you win, you get paid right away. FanDuel is the official partner of us here at WFAN. 21 plus and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit is required. Bonus issued is now a withdrawable bonus bet that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And for help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. The Tampa Bay Bucks record may be 3-0, but look more closely and things are shaky. According to The Athletic, the Bucks have the smallest point differential of any unbeaten team in league history, and they've needed last-minute scores all 3 weeks just to survive. Injuries are piling up, and up next, the defending champion Philadelphia Eagles. I'm Maggie Gray.
Ready to kick off the fun? Chumba Casino is your go-to game plan during halftime or overtime. From spinning slots to instant scratch-style cards, it's like running the perfect play, all from home. New players score a free welcome bonus and daily logins with a shot at some serious prizes every time you play. Get in the game and visit ChumbaCasino.com today. Let's Chumba. Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter? Right? And the best part? They accept Discover. Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer. Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times. Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants? These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
It's the road ahead, brought to you by our local Kia dealers. Visit Kia.com to discover movement that inspires. The team from the Bronx continues its 3-game series against Chicago before finishing the regular season with 3 games against Baltimore.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic, made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on the Fan.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. Lease a new 25 Mazda CX-30 for $199 for 33 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda.
Call 833-853-2970 for details. VIN SM 843629. MSRP 26865. Zero security deposit. Ends 9/30/25.
Recovering from an addiction is an individual accomplishment. A young mother who chose recovery to care for her family. A high school athlete overcoming opioid addiction. A couple celebrating his recovery. Everyone's recovery is different, and there's no shame in asking for help. Call 844-REACH-NJ. Trained counselors are available 24/7 to help you find the recovery option that's best for you. Tell us your story, and let's begin your recovery today. A message from New Jersey Human Services.
FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer you won't want to miss. New customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. You can build parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines. Whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. This NFL season has finally arrived. The only question is, are you ready to play? Visit FanDuel.com/Evan. Download the FanDuel app today and get started. FanDuel.com/Evan. We love the app around here. It's safe and secure, and when you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of WFAN. 21 and over, physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable. Bonus bets expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Some things are hard to commit to, like learning how to surf
or saving for a family vacation. But one commitment that's easy, switching to Fios Home Internet with a 5-year price lock guarantee. That means 5 great summers of fast, reliable internet at the same low price. All with the Fios 1 gig internet plan. Plus no hidden fees or equipment charges. Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch today. Price guarantee applies to base monthly rate only for new and existing My Home customers.
Town Fair Tire is New England's largest volume discount tire dealer with over 100 locations. So we sell Michelin tires for the guaranteed lowest price. Like Michelin tires with all-season capabilities and maximum performance. Plus, Town Fair will give you more free services for life on your Michelin tires for longer tread life and reliable traction in both wet and dry conditions. For the guaranteed lowest price on Michelin tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody!
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Football season is here, and just like winning teams, your engagement should be all about the best. So if you're ready to pop the big question this season, why not visit the experts at London Jewelers? With top-notch professionals and cutting-edge technology, London Jewelers can help you select or even design the absolute perfect ring. So whether you're starting over or starting new, let the professionals at London Jewelers be a part of your journey. Visit any one of their convenient 6 locations across New York and New Jersey. London Jewelers, serving you and your family since 1926.
Listen to You Better You Bet with Nick Costa Sunday morning at 8 right here on The Fan. Nick will preview all the football action and get you ready for kickoff, presented by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Put WFAN in your contact list. 888-808-1019. Powered by Paramount Plus. Count on Sundays all season long with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
A good question.
3 random questions.
Let's find out.
With Brendan Tierney and Sal Licata.
1, 2, 3.
On The Fan.
All right, 3 random questions sponsored by the Rothenberg Law Firm. Injured? Visit injurylawyer.com. Number 1, if you were Devontae Smith, how would you handle the security guard checking out your girl?
I'd say it's a compliment. No, he was maybe a little bit too locked in. I mean, you know, you can kind of pretend you're looking somewhere else and catch that quick raise. We all know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I went right to her Instagram page myself, the Maya Danielle. If you're not familiar with this story, there was a very attractive woman walking the sidelines of the Eagles game. The security guard walked past, turned around very quickly to see what had just passed him by. Turns out it was Devontae Smith's fiance or whatever, wife, I don't even know.
I think his girlfriend, and he locked in pretty good. Now, it's a still shot. Now, was it I'm kind of having fun. Like, was it a quick glance, or was he really just
he did a full turn. I'm not
he did do the full turn, yeah.
But that's like an aggressive, you got to be aware that there could be cameras on. Also, that's
true.
It's probably somebody's girl. Mm-hmm. Like a full turn, even if the security guard is single in this particular spot. I don't know if the full turn to check it out is acceptable.
Well, you got to at least pretend you're looking at something else. Like you look at your watch for a second. You got to throw some sort of distraction. There's got to be a little diversion there. Like, you know, you're looking up at the top of the sky.
I forgot something back there. Turn around.
You scratch your head. Like there's ways to do it. That security guard either has no game or he just has no shame. One of the two, man.
Now, I'm trying to think if I were in his spot. Forget about Devontae Smith. And I think Smith handled it well. He went to Instagram and joked around like the guy better. Well, yeah, come on, dude. You should take it as a compliment.
It is.
But if I'm the security guard, I'm trying to think of what I would do in that spot.
Depends if you're married.
Does it?
I mean, it's not meaning what you would do with the quote-unquote fallout or if you try to get the look.
Well, I'm just saying,
very different things.
If you pass by, on the city street.
Of course, for sure.
All right. Yeah. So, like somebody of that magnitude that catches your eye to that level, is it just, are we supposed to just keep it moving? Or is it okay to be like, oh, did I just pass that? Like pretend you're turning around for something else.
Are you by yourself?
Yeah. Like, let's just say, hypothetically, getting off of the PATH train and walking to Hudson Street, for example.
Yeah.
Let's just say hypothetically.
I don't know. People might recognize you. You got to watch it. They get a picture on the camera on you.
Yeah, I know.
So be careful here.
That's the good point, BT. Let this be a learning lesson for everybody else.
Don't look at anybody.
Don't be the security guard. Keep it moving as much as you want to turn around. And then just, go to the IG page. You probably get everything you're going to see there anyway. All right, number 2, if you have multiple entries in survivor pools, you have to select... Not that you have to, but what would you do? Select the same team or different teams? 2 different entries?
No, I would do 2 different ones to give myself the increased odds that I get deeper in the season.
But is it increased odds if you're... Now, I'm talking about two different pools, not the same pool.
Oh, two different
If you were in the same pool, it would defeat the purpose to have different, same picks, obviously.
Yeah. Is this the Mirage pool, by the way, that we weren't invited to?
I'm in a Mirage pool.
Wait, you jumped in that?
And then I'm in another pool.
You jumped in that?
I did, yeah.
What?
Yeah. I wanted in the knockout pool.
He wanted to jump in.
So why didn't you? He sent us the link.
To what email? I haven't been in my work email in 4 years.
No, I thought he texted us the link.
I get it.
I just signed right in there.
Really?
All right, so
maybe he did.
So
you know what he did? He did.
Let's say you were in two separate knockout pools.
Okay.
Your strategy would be what?
My strategy would be, I probably wouldn't do two, but I'll play along. Because then you're overthinking it.
Segment over, yeah.
No. So if you do two, well, you're not going to make a pick that you don't believe in. So I could also see, even though my initial thought was to pick two different teams to keep it going, maybe you do ride the two same picks if that's what you really believe, and maybe you win two pools.
Right. I've done both over the years, but at this particular point, I think I'm riding with the same one because think about it. It's hard enough to pick one, and even though you think in your own mind, all right, well, I'm in multiple Survivor leagues, and I don't want to get eliminated with the same team.
Yeah.
You're now hurting your odds by trying to pick two winners.
Hurting your odds in one of them, but at the end of the day, increasing the odds that you live to fight another week in totality. You see what I'm saying?
I guess, but you are hurting yourself because you're, instead of just picking one team to win.
Either way, you're flushing down money in one of them.
You are picking two. No, not necessarily.
Well, maybe. Well, you're going to lose one of them.
I just find that it's easier while tempting to do multiple or to do different picks in multiple pools.
Yeah, it's too much at this point.
I think it's easy to just pick one particular team and that's it. I'm not playing scared. I can pick one winner a week and then that's it, even for both pools. And if I lose, I lose. If not, I win both.
Okay, so real quick on the Survivor pools here.
Yeah.
So at the peak of your Falcons fandom.
Yes.
Did you ride them, or would you stay away from them in those kind of pools because you didn't want to mix business with pleasure there?
If I felt great about them, I'd bet them.
Yeah, I'm the same way with the Jets or the Giants over the year.
Yeah, I don't let that get in the way. I wouldn't just be blind to it. All right, last one here, and this comes from Hoff actually earlier in the week. Yeah, who's a celebrity that you would want at your wake?
At my wake?
Yeah. Hoff had this experience, I guess, recently with somebody in his...
Did he die and he came back?
Well, no, I just found out that my wife's father, who passed away like 20 years ago, unfortunately, Dave DeBuscher was at his wake because they were friends.
Right.
So Great Nick, of course. Yeah. DeBuscher pounding the table when they get Patrick Ewing in 85. Oh, man, I didn't see this one coming. A celebrity that's either with us or no longer with us. It could be either or.
No, I would say like somebody that's alive.
Somebody that's currently with us here.
Like in the hypothetical... Yeah, like for me, like... You have one?
Oh, man, that's a tough one.
I Steve Summers.
Okay, well, I was going to say Boomer. So, like, does that count, or is that just more of, like, because we're co-workers with...
Why would you want Boomer? It's an interesting pick.
It's not that I would want him. I'm just saying, like, does he count as a celebrity?
Yeah, he's a celebrity, of course.
Do you think Boomer would show up if either of us died?
Yes, I do. 100%.
Does it depend on if there's a golf tournament going on?
Yeah, I was going to say, what is he doing?
That's Gio.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure Gio would show up, let alone
That's
Boomer.
different. I think Boomer would step up. Now, Boomer would be there. If Gio's got a tea time, he's not. He might send the card or something. He ain't coming.
I think Gio would show up for me 100%. I mean, I'd hope.
You lived with the guy.
That's what I'm saying. I would think Gio would show up at my wake. I don't know about
me,
Boomer.
he wouldn't. He would play golf. I think Boomer would show up at both of ours. I really do. Boomer's that. I do.
Is there
Twice the captain of the station.
Is there another celebrity that maybe we don't work with that you would want?
Oh my God!
Does it really matter?
Be boring. No, it doesn't matter. You're right. It doesn't matter.
Is Boone a celebrity?
I was thinking Booty for a second here. Yeah, of course he is. What do you mean? Is he a Yankees manager? Of course.
Boone show up and apply that data at your wake?
Oh, stop, man. Who do you want an actor? I mean, do you want somebody that's funny to lighten the mood? How about you? So you should say Sandler because you love him and he'll make everybody feel good about your death. There you go. You like that.
Wait a second. I thought you'd say Terry Collins. Because you love Terry so much.
I do love him.
It would be an honor for you to have Terry there.
No, Terry's going to get in the suit that he lays in the casket with because that's what he got to be.
You're right. Right. I want to be buried in the suit TC got me, but I do want Adam to good
you
answer.
Like that one.
See, my mind was thinking Halle Berry, Jessica Alba, and then I'm like, well, what good?
Though?
Yeah, exactly.
What, they going to fawn over you while you're dead?
I don't want them there.
No.
The Sandman. That's the right answer.
You want them at the pre-party, not at the post-wrap.
The Sandman. Good one. Yeah.
Right. I'd want to see Redman at your wake, to be honest with you, Sal. Because I'd like to see him give you a new yell at you about your Knicks takes. Was it Knicks or Giants?
Giants. I think he was mad at the Giants. I wonder what Reggie Noble thinks of Jaxson Dart. By the way, we got to get into Jaxson
Kevin
Dart.
James could show up. He could berate you in the casket as well. You have a long list of people that'll be out at you.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You didn't have one until I gave you one.
I know. I'm trying to think of one for you.
God.
Dave Letterman.
No, I'm not a Letterman fan.
Paul O'Neill.
Yeah, I mean, I love O'Neill, but I don't think he would show up after I said he can't come on the show. You know what? Maybe I'll have Michael Kay show up. You can introduce it in a very stately Yankee manner.
All right,
and I know he would show up.
Well, if you have Kay, I'm going to have Francesa.
Good. Is he going to show up?
Yeah, of course.
All right.
I don't know.
I'd like to, you know,
sure.
You know what? I'd actually like Spike to come to mind for some reason.
Spike.
Eskin or Lee?
Eskin. No, Lee's fine.
But these are not I love Spike. He's not a celebrity. Like, these are co-workers.
Kind of a celebrity.
Gaten Matarazzo. There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
We have a relationship with his dad, so there you go. They'll show up.
Connor.
And bring their bakery gifts.
Ariana from Adriana from Vanderpump Rules.
100%. Maybe Margot Robbie. I don't know.
Oh,
People
Margot
would think it's pretty
Robbie's-
cool. She's there at my funeral. That'd be nice, you know?
That is a good
Margot
point.
Robbie's, that's a good call.
You know what I'm saying? And then people be like, damn.
Yeah.
I didn't know we had that.
Oh, he had this hookup.
Yeah.
Then they would wonder, like, hey, maybe he had more game than we thought.
I got a great idea.
If they start showing up.
Rent the celebrity. Can we do that?
Rent the celebrity?
Start
a new business?
Yeah.
Just show up at your wake.
Make yourself feel important?
Just show up. Just somebody shows up, like have a speech already written out for you.
They got Cameo,
Let's
so just
go.
rent the body.
Dude.
Instead of rent the video.
I think
Trademark
this segment
that.
is Jump the Shark. All right, BT and Sal on the full reset down with the king topic of the day. When we come back right now, let's get you updated. Here's Andrew Bogish.
Get the latest on the Giants and Jets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 12 o'clock. I'm Andrew Bogish. Your Sports Flash is sponsored by NJMEP Manufacturing Day, October 3rd in Freehold. If you work in New Jersey manufacturing, your chance to network, learn, and connect with resources for your business is October 3rd, the annual Made in New Jersey Manufacturing Day in Freehold. Both gubernatorial candidates will be there to share their vision for industry in New Jersey. Register today at njmep.org. With their playoff spot secured, the Yankees can put all their focus on catching the Blue Jays.
Back on the fan. We are down with the king topic of the day, and it is the New York Yankees, BT, where I think it's fair, or not even fair, but I think it's just to give them credit today, even though clinching a postseason spot for them has become mundane. I know not the team itself. They celebrated last night, as they should, but just from our perspective, well, of course the Yankees are going to make the postseason. They always do. Yeah, but that's the key. That's the thing that should be celebrated, even though we have higher expectations and aspirations. Go win a division, which is still there for the New York Yankees. Go win a World Series for the first time since 2009. It is, to me, important to stop and celebrate the checkpoints, you used that word earlier, along the way, especially when you look at what's gone on across town with the Mets, fighting their way to barely hang on to a postseason spot for the second straight year, while you have the Yankees, who of the last 30-plus years have made the postseason every year except for 5 of them. So congrats for the Yankees on sustained success as an organization.
No question. Congrats. I got to tell you, this has turned into, and I didn't see this coming from a mile away at certain points this year. This has turned into one of my favorite Yankee teams in a while.
What?
I really mean that. No, and I'm not talking about like 96 or 98 or 99 or 2000. I don't mean that. But I mean, think about some of these teams that we've been complaining about. Yeah.
But this year was largely miserable.
That's why I said they're turning into one of my favorite teams, because they have grit, and I love grit. And one of the things about the Yankees is that they've been, they're very corporate, they're very Brooks Brothers, very conservative by nature, and they've shown some resilience and some toughness. And other teams have shown that in the past. I'm not saying that none of them have had that, but it's been an unexpected surge, and I always appreciate those years. I've said before, now listen, of course the goal is to always win a championship, and there's going to be a million debates and discussions coming up the next month as they try to do that. But to me, some of the more enjoyable seasons are unexpected ones, where it kind of comes out of nowhere. And all I could do is go back to my mindset when they were kicking it all over the field, when they were a mess on the bases, when Fried had like 8 or 9 starts in a row that were horrendous. And I just didn't think Stanton wasn't back yet. They didn't have a third baseman yet. Caballero wasn't here yet. Volpe was a mess. I just didn't think the Yankees had any juice here. And when you really look at all the factors coming into the year, they lost Garrett Cole, who's a Hall of Famer. Louis Heel was out most of the season. Obviously, Clark Schmidt is a very good around baseball back in the rotation starter. You lose Juan Soto, who would, whatever Mantle and Maris looked like, or Yogi and whomever, or Reggie and Munson and Nettles, whatever those guys looked like together, Soto and Judge were better. So you take away all that. I didn't really know what to expect this year. And the unexpected stories, whether it's Grisham, whether it's Ben Rice's emergence, whether it's Rodon solidifying his New York stint here after a horrendous start, it has been a fun season.
Yeah, well, I can't go there and say it's been a fun season. Literally, I just said a week ago it has not been a fun season for either team. So I wouldn't say fun, but I would say that if they win the division, which they still can do, and I actually believe they're going to do it now more than ever, and I believe that they were going to do it for a while outside of losing to Minnesota last week. That was the one I was like, I don't know, maybe it seems too daunting right now. If they win the division, that would be as sweet a division win as you could have, with the Blue Jays talking trash, their manager, the Blue Jay broadcasters talking trash, getting into it with Michael Kay, ripping the Yankees, and here we are with 5 games to go. The Yankees just 1 game back of Toronto. Toronto going to be facing Garrett Crochet tonight, taking on the Red Sox yet again. Obviously, they have the tiebreaker, so that favors them. It's kind of like 2 games. But the Yanks here, you can make a case they could run the table, go 4-1, and win the division. That, to me, would be sweet and fun and change the entire outlook of the postseason. You can talk about Yankees having not only the bye, but home field throughout the playoffs.
It's a massive few days here. I mean, it really could change quite a bit. Now, I don't love playing great baseball than not playing for a few days. Like, that's a different discussion. Like, what's better, to be hot and keep going, or to get 4 or 5 day respite and then have to get back in the flow? I don't know the answer. There's equal parts and equal evidence both ways, so I don't really know the answer. But even if they don't catch Toronto, let's say Toronto wakes up and that wins 4 or 5 and the Yankees win 4 or 5, Yankees don't win the division. Either way, provided they finish the season strong, these final few, the Yankees have played really good baseball for over a month, and that's got to make Yankee fans feel awesome. Good stuff.
By the way, I just mentioned Blue Jays broadcasters getting it to Michael Kay, and you just said in the segment before that Michael Kay would be a celebrity that you would want at your wake. How about Stephen A? And that's your guy.
It is. Well, I feel like Stephen A. might make it about himself.
Oh, okay, all right. Fair enough. I didn't know if that name. I was just I was thinking about it. Okay.
No, I appreciate you going back to the 3RQ. Like, Stephen A., I don't know. He might go into a bit on the Knicks. I just feel like I feel like Michael would introduce me in a good way and just kind of keep it moving.
Okay, that was something I should have brought up before, but I didn't. Keeping it moving here. We also talked about the Mets and their big win last night. I am not getting fooled by it. It was a great win, sure. There was a lot of bad in that great win. Now, let me rephrase that. Any win at this point is good for the Mets. It was a great comeback. You used the term character win.
No question.
Fair enough. Coming back from down 6-1. My issue is getting down 6-1 to begin with, and then taking all that it took to hang on and win that game. 2 innings of Edwin Diaz using 6 different relievers, where you still got 5 games to go, and starting pitching that has been an issue all year long. You're going to have to go to that bullpen again. Like, Diaz not going to be available for 2 innings tonight. How the hell are you going to close out a game against the Cubs? So while it was a great win, while it feels easy today for Met fans to say, okay, exhale, we're going to be in the postseason spot. They control their own fate yet again, whatever it may be. I'm still not believing. And with just 5 games to go, a lot can happen. They only have a game lead over 2 teams, as the Diamondbacks came back and won a big game last night. 1 game lead over 2 teams that each own the tiebreaker. Those are huge factors here. I just don't trust the Mets to get this job done.
And listen, all the veterans that you were entrusting the season with, I mean, they've imploded. I mean, Senga's in the minors. Manaea's been horrendous. Peterson's been basically been worse these last however many starts here. So you're leaning on young kids with no track record, and sometimes ignorance is bliss. I mean, sometimes that's a liberating thing where you just don't feel the pressure because you're so young. I don't think McClain's going to feel any pressure, but Tom certainly did after that one rough start when he was choking up and he showed a side that was vulnerable, and then he bounced back. So I get the lack of belief in this team. And man, I'm going to play the semantics game with you, but I don't feel like it's one thing to say that they're not good enough, but I don't even think Met fans are enjoying just the individual win last night.
Right.
You didn't enjoy it. Huff didn't enjoy it.
Well, I'm sure a lot of fans do.
I feel like Met fans didn't even enjoy the game last night. You guys went down 6-1.
I think they've made it so bad here, and I can only speak for myself. Huff could speak for himself. I have been believing in this team for a long time, and then I just got to a point where I couldn't do it anymore, and I lost total belief, and they're going to have to earn my trust back. And if they do celebrate and clinch and celebrate celebrate. Maybe I'll be excited about it. Maybe I'll be happy to watch some postseason games. Right now, I've had my fill with this team. And even in the win last night, there's a lot of aggravation. Soto misplaying a ball in right field. The win, they're not. Unacceptable. Nimmo in center field should never happen. Marte in left field, like, what are we doing?
McNeil, 2 errors.
Yeah, okay, sloppiness all over the place. You got Peterson who can't get anybody out all of a sudden. You go from all-star to can't get anybody out. So there's a lot of inconsistencies throughout with this team. If I believe that they were going to score 7-8 runs a night, different story. I don't believe that that's going to be the case. So that's why, yes, even within the individual win, I can't, it's not fooling me. I'm not letting myself get to the point where I believe in this team yet. They're going to have to earn that back over the final 5 games.
But did you think that last year's team would go to the CS?
No, I didn't, but there was more reason to believe in that team going to the playoffs. I did believe they were going to be a playoff team. I forget from what point on, but you and I had that talk where I was like, from June 3rd, basically the opposite of this year. Or from June on, the Mets have been the best team in baseball, so they're going to go to the postseason, and always held out that belief. And they did get to the postseason. Did I think they were going to go on a run? No, but they did go on a run. There were reasons to believe. This team, it's quite the opposite. Once they get in, BT, maybe that's something different, but I don't believe they're getting in. BT and Sal on the Fan, our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Back to the calls here, both the Yanks and the Mets. We'll do Giants coming up in a little bit, as we'll hear from Brian Dable talking about the decision to bench Russell Wilson in favor of Jaxson Dart. Frank is in White Plains. What's up, Frank?
Hey, Sal.
Yes.
You're 100% right. This team, you can't trust him anymore anyway. This is really ridiculous. Even last night with a win, was 6-1 or whatever it was. And the feeling is not there anymore for this team. As far as the Yankees goes, I'm telling you, I look the Yankees, they're going to go all the way, right to the World Series, because there's nobody out there in the American League to beat him. They're the best team in the American League.
Yeah, I mean, they might be. Listen, the thing about the Yankees, and this, just because we're talking about both teams here, thanks for the call there, Frank, appreciate it. Like, the Yankees starting pitchers go out there every night and they give you a chance to win. Every single night. Even Will Warren, who's had, several eyesore games for the most part as a rookie, I mean, he's had some really, really dominant games in terms of a few earned runs and a lot of strikeouts. You know that Fried's been really good outside of a few starts there. Rodon, I think, has been the most consistent Yankee pitcher all year. Schlittler looks like a potential future ace. And obviously Louis Hill, who's been a little erratic with his control, but has filthy stuff and is good. So when you get to that part, now and that's the component that you need. And maybe if the Mets had a little more starting, like maybe if Manaea was a horse and Peterson was still pitching well, maybe there'd be more conviction. Because if you don't have a chance to put up zeros early, now you're playing from behind, now the bullpen, now the stress on the hitters. I get it. It's been a complicated road for the Mets, but I do think the difference with the Yankees, and they might be the best team in the American League, and maybe in baseball, their pitching is good.
Well, who's going to beat them? So think about it. For me, from my perspective, I thought that there were a couple of dangerous series from the Yankees. It's not that I wouldn't want to face Boston in the first round, but I think that that's a dangerous, tough series facing the Red Sox. Even though the Yankees would be at home if they do play them in the wild card round, that's a potential tough matchup. The pitching, the manager core, like the Red Sox.
I agree with that. Crochet. I don't want to face him if I don't have to.
That might not happen.
I know.
And if that doesn't happen, that eliminates one series that could have been dangerous.
Yep.
The others to me would have been Seattle, which still could happen. What's the status with Wu? Brian Wu, who's a nasty pitcher. I love him. He had a great
I don't know about his status, actually.
Yeah, I think he was banged up a little bit. Anyways, Seattle, but okay.
Yeah.
Seattle could be
supposed
tough.
to beat him.
Seattle could be tough. Are they the Yankees?
You're supposed to beat them.
And then Detroit, who has fallen off a cliff.
They're a mess.
The Mets, a lot of people use the term collapse and the Mets and what's going on here. I wouldn't. What Detroit has done is collapse. That is a freaking collapse of epic proportions. They've lost 7 in a row. They finally got caught by the Guardians, who were just steamrolling them.
They were up 10 games on September 9th, I think the number was. 10.
Dude, that's a collapse. So now, I don't even know if Detroit's going to be in the postseason. And let alone, all right, let's say they do make it. Are they still the threat? And by the way,
with Skubal, they would be.
Did you see Skubal last night?
I did see that.
Hit Fry in the face.
Jeez.
And Skubal's reaction afterward was understandable.
Yeah, of course.
Drilling somebody square in the face. honestly, Fry, he's got to get the bat on the ball there, dude.
I know. Like, 95 miles per hour in the face.
I know, but
God forbid,
you got to look at the ball and put the bat on it. Or
you get on the guy for taking one off the schnoz. He tried.
Yeah, he stared at it.
The ball's moving, man. It's hard to bunt that.
Come on, BT. Guys come up and in all the time with that. Either get out of the way of the ball or hit it with the bat.
I'm just saying.
He let it hit him square in the face. Now, obviously, it's a horrible thing.
Yeah.
But my main point was Skubal's reaction afterward made me think that he might be shaken by that.
He was shaken.
Yeah.
He was very shaken, and you appreciate that reaction.
Yeah.
That speaks to the humanity within the game. That was terrifying, dude. Right, Caniglio, who got hit with the Red Sox in the 60s?
Canigliaro?
Yeah, there you go. Dickie Thon. I remember I was watching the game when Dickie Thon got buzzed by, I think that was Mike Torres.
I remember Stanton getting hit in the face.
Giancarlo Stanton with the
Wasn't that a pitch that he
Marlins.
swung at? Because I remember getting on Stanton, too, for thinking, dude, you swung at it. And it hit. Remember, then after that, he had to wear that protection.
Have the thing. You know what I don't get? And this is why these guys are superhuman. And eventually, David Fry's going to get back in the batter's box. I don't know how you take one off the face at mid-90s or upper 90s and dig back in the batter's box without being terrified. I don't think that I could do that.
It happened to me.
I don't know.
It happened to me in Little League at third base. I think I told you the story, but it ruined whatever chance I had to be
on a ground ball?
No, covering third base as a third baseman.
How old were you?
They were 10, whatever.
No, so
maybe
the ball
young.
didn't have a ton of steam on it. Hopefully, at
Catcher
age 10, right?
Catcher had a good arm.
Yeah.
It's weird. I can remember it.
Go ahead.
Going to cover third, but also looking back at the runner because everybody's yelling, "He's going! He's going!"
Yep.
And I turned around, he wasn't going, and the ball hit me in the face before it could get a glove up.
Yep.
And I just remember being scarred by that. Ever since then, I was afraid of the ball. Now that's at lower levels.
Where'd it hit you? Cheekbone? You pointed to your
I
cheek?
had a nice shiner for even my school picture for a while.
Are you serious?
It was blowing up. Yeah, cheekbone. So again, my mistake, but it scared forever. I was always never like fully confident stepping in the batter's box, whatever it may be. So yeah, even now you're talking about at the major league level, your confidence is great because you're a major leaguer.
Clearly.
But you're getting hit with 99 in the face. I could see how that would shake a player.
Yeah.
No matter what.
I don't know how you don't flinch or bail out a little bit. That's why they're different than we are. It's the bottom line.
It's in your mind.
I was scrolling this morning, and I saw. I was watching both teams last night, and then I was on my phone for a sec. I really don't open my phone too much at night. I just want to see what was going on, like the Reds game and whatever. And I see this on social media. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And I'm like, I don't even want to watch this. I had to watch it to see if there was any like deflection off the bat. I watched it. And then I'm like, my God. And then it was about 30 seconds, and he was still on the ground. Now, eventually, we walked off under his own power, which is amazing. That's really the grace of God at that point, because you could have been dead. But then this morning, when I was looking for something, I saw it, and it somehow popped up, and I just rolled. I'm like, I can't even watch this.
Is he okay?
Again.
Do we know?
He's going to be all right.
Okay, good.
He's good. Like, he walked off basically under his own power. God, 95 in the face.
I couldn't see it clearly when I watched the first replay on my phone real quick, but the reaction from Skubal, I was like, wait, what happened here? And then you zoom in and you just see a direct shot. Oh, man. Jeez. Anyway, the point was that maybe Skubal...
he's not there mentally if they face the Yankees.
Yeah, the way things have gone for the Tigers, they may not be there as a team, and now that happens... it could mentally take you out. Like, I wouldn't fear the Tigers anymore from a Yankees perspective. So to bring it back full circle here, yeah, I mean, I think right now, and they're probably the betting favorites, I would look at the Yankees as being the favorites in the American League.
And just to finish the thought why it could impact Skubal, and no matter how great you are, you know, if you, not that he's going to turn to Rick Ankiel, not that he's not going to be able to throw a strike here, but he's probably going to be a little reluctant to throw up and in. And if you're, when you are a pitcher who owns the inner half of home plate and you have elite stuff, and suddenly 1/3 of the batter's box is a little bit taken away because you don't want to hit somebody again, if that's what happens. Now, he might be like Roger Clemens and say, at the end of the day, whatever, I'm just throwing wherever I want because that's what I do, and he'll be fine. But if he's reluctant to go inside, that's advantage hitter for sure.
BT and Sal on the fan. Antonio's in Manhattan. What's up, Antonio?
Hey, what's up? How you doing, guys?
Good. What's happening, man?
So, I just want to back up Sal. That look, I mean, he knows I'm a huge Met fan. The thing is, look, I think you have to be delusional. I think I'm very skeptical about what they can do. Look, if we follow the script, right, of what they've been doing today, they're gonna probably lose again. Like, they're probably gonna have a lead, and then they're gonna give it up, and that's gonna happen today. And then tomorrow, we're gonna be with the same thing again. Not only that, I think. So as far as what BT saying, they're going to make the playoffs, I don't think so. And also, I think the Diamondbacks are going to be the team, is going to make the playoffs. I don't think Cincinnati has it. But I think and this is the main thing. Even if they make the playoffs, look, the main three pitchers, right, Peterson, Minaya, and Senga, they're not there. So, I mean, you're relying on.
Well, they're not the main. They're not
pitchers. Come on,
they're not the main. Yeah. I mean, I'm with you, Antonio, to an extent, but they're not the main three pitchers anymore. Those guys that you mentioned. Thank you for the call. McClain is the guy. Now, I don't trust Sproat or Tong. I need to see more. There's been inconsistencies there. Do I trust them more than I do Senga, Minaya, Peterson? Who else am I?
Holmes? You trust Holmes a little
I
bit
do
here.
trust Holmes. Do
You
I
said
trust
Minaya, you said Peterson.
Senga, Minaya, Peterson. Yeah, I do trust those guys more than the other three because they've earned it here recently, and that just speaks volumes to where the other three are at, not necessarily the rookies. I do not trust Tong. I don't know what to expect from Tong.
It's a little bit of blind faith.
Yeah, okay.
I understand that. Listen, when we were getting into it the other, I guess last week with Minaya and Tong, the reason I was saying I wanted Tong to pitch over Minaya is because he's got elite stuff, and everybody in baseball knows that. Now, does it translate the rest of the way? I don't know. It didn't translate when he didn't get out of the first inning 2 starts ago. I don't know, but I do trust his stuff that put him in the futures game, and I trust him a little bit more than Senga right now, who's a mechanical mess, and Peterson, who's batting practice, and Minaya, who's been all over the map. So I think, I guess what I'm saying is this. Imagine if Peterson, Minaya, and Senga began to peter out with, say, 2 weeks to go in the season, and they were in the same predicament, but there was no emergence of McClain or a flash from Sproat.
They'll be done.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's a little bit of blind faith, but there's also a little bit of major league success to react to. That's got to give you a little bit of hope. Otherwise, otherwise they don't have a shot.
Could be good. I can't rely on stuff because Helsley's got great stuff. And look what happened to him. It's the point is, and this is what made me get to the conclusion where I didn't believe in them anymore. There aren't any great options. That's it. End of story. You can look at it. Oh, Peterson's going to start. I hated that idea. Well, who's going to start in place of him? Now, they're lucky to win a game like that, but there aren't any other options. Oh, well, okay, do you trust Tong? Not 100%, but he's by far their best option outside of Noah McClain.
You got to trust him tonight.
You have no choice. I trust McClain tomorrow. Yeah. But do I trust the rest of the team behind him? I don't.
Well, the problem is, and we hit this before, right now it's Minaya Saturday, Peterson Sunday.
As of now.
There's no way that they'll do that. Zero.
BT and Sal on the Fan. Warrior calls when we come back. Brian Dable, we'll hear from him on the announcement of having Jaxson Dart take over as the Giants starter. We'll do that. That's coming up, Hop? 12:30. So stick around for Brian Dable. We'll hear from him. BT and Sal on the Fan.
Yeah, looking forward to that. All right, guys, who's out in football? Brought to you by Petro Home Services. Jonathan Taylor is hot. He rushed for a $102 and 3 touchdowns in a win over Tennessee. Those Colts are rolling. Daniel Jones. Want to save on heating costs? Go with Petro. Switch now and get $125 free heating oil with reliable delivery in any weather and live 24/7 service. Count on your local HVAC pros at Petro. Stay warm. Save this winter. Just go to petro.com now and get $125 free heating oil or call 1-888-PETRO-02. That's 1-888-PETRO-02 today. Use propane. Ask about special offers. Propane not available in all areas.
Together, let's drive at Paramus Chevrolet. For just $197 a month and $19.14 due at delivery, lease a brand new Trax 4D Wagon LT with front-wheel drive for 24 months. Buying? Enjoy 0.0% APR financing for well-qualified buyers. Visit ParamusChevrolet.com today.
Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cask matured Irish whiskey. When it's game time, it's Tully time. Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume, imported by William Grant & Sons Incorporated, New York, New York.
It's time for the pro to get everything for the job delivered. Large orders of lumber, doors, windows, paint, plumbing, anything the job needs, all from one partner. Get it today with same-day delivery. Get it tomorrow with next-day delivery on 50,000 plus products. Or get it on your timeline with scheduled delivery on everything from framing to flooring. It's time to get your whole job, all your jobs delivered. Ask about all our new delivery options at the Pro Desk. The Home Depot Pro, it's about time.
Cloudy and humid, maybe a shower, high 78.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
When it comes to restoring cars, Diego's got skills. And with Total Wireless in his corner, the whole world sees them. With the dual camera system on his new iPhone 13, he can take amazing car photos and post them on the fly with super fast 5G, and even turn this hobby into a full-time gig. His claim to fame? Claiming iPhone 13 with 5G on us. Get iPhone 13 with 5G on us when you switch to the Total 5G or 5G Plus Unlimited 3-month plan. Total Wireless, in your corner. For limited time while supplies last. Valid in store. Device taxes and fees may apply.
Requires port in and ID verification. Restrictions apply.
Football is back, and it looks like we're going to get thrills from both teams this year, but thrills are nothing new at Bay Ridge Mazda. Tired of that clunker you've been driving? Just bring it in to Bay Ridge Mazda for up to $2,000 over book value all month long. The time is now to make a trade. Head over to the place where everybody wins, Bay Ridge Mazda, located on 4th Avenue and 90th Street, or buy your car direct at BayRidgeMazda.com and have it delivered to your door. That's Bay Ridge Mazda, 4th Avenue and 90th Street in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn.
For over 100 years, Sloman's has been your trusted partner in comfort. When it comes to home heating oil, they deliver more than just quality fuel. They deliver peace of mind. With price protection, automatic deliveries, and 24/7 service, their dedicated team is just a call away, ensuring you stay warm and comfortable all winter long. Sloman's, the Tri-State's largest heating oil provider, proudly serving their community for generations. Give them a call today at 866-GET-HEAT or visit oil.slomans.com.
You know what they say about judging a book by its cover? Everyone with an addiction has a story to tell. Don't know? Don't judge. Addiction is a treatable medical condition. What helps people seek treatment is support. What does not help is shame and stigma. We can all make a difference. Learn how at oasis.ny.gov. The New York State Office of Addiction Services and Supports. Every step of the way.
Town Fair Tire became New England's #1 discount tire dealer by giving you the absolute lowest prices guaranteed. And with over 100 stores from Connecticut to Maine, we'll beat anybody's price. Other dealers, we beat them. Warehouse clubs, we beat them. Online sites, we beat them all every day. So remember, for the absolute guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
When your reputation's on the line, you don't leave anything to chance, especially your primer. Painters trust Kills primers for a smooth start, strong adhesion, and serious stain-blocking power. And now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery, or order online and pick up in-store. Kills primers. Pro results, faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, it's Tiki. Are you looking to enhance your home experience? Discover the new Sloman's Shield Link, the ultimate all-in-one ecosystem for integrating your smart devices with the Sloman's Shield. Sloman's Shield Link takes everyday routines and actions based on your preferences and connects other devices to react based on your actions. Imagine arriving at home at night and your lights, favorite music, and TV turn on as you enter your home. Whether you want your thermostats to turn down when you turn on your alarm or automatically lock your doors and ensure your security lighting is on. These scenarios are a reality with the Sloman's Shield Link integration platform. The Sloman's Shield Link is compatible with devices you already have in your home. Sloman's includes installation for all devices. Plus, they offer 24/7 support. Whether you need to troubleshoot a problem or want to add programming, you can call at any time. Embrace the future of home living by calling 1-800-ALARM-ME today or visit SlomanShieldLink.com to get the Sloman's Shield Link.
Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman invites you to celebrate the Ryder Cup coming to Nassau County. Thursday, September 25th, kick off the festivities with a concert and fireworks at Eisenhower Park. Friday to Sunday, watch all the action on the giant screen with games, food, and Ryder Cup ticket giveaways from 12 to 6 each day at Field 6. Friday night, don't miss world-renowned EDM DJ Steve Aoki at 8 p.m. Free admission and parking. Join us for Ryder Cup weekend at Eisenhower Park.
Tune in to the BT and Sal Show weekdays from 10 to 2 on The Fan, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
Real sports talk for real fans with real opinions. The Fan, 101.9 FM and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
Hey, get your numbers up. I had to get my numbers up.
BT and Sal back on The Fan as we await Brian Dable. It's an exciting time for New York Giants fans, BT. Who would think we'd be saying that in week 4? Well, here we are as they're about to turn it over to Jaxson Dart. And the one thing that I just want to hear, I don't want to hear any nonsense. I want to hear honesty. I don't know if we're going to get that from Dable. Usually there's a lot of coach speak and, well, it's a collaborative effort, blah, blah, blah. I'd like to hear the truth about what went into this decision to make that move now to go away from their original plan, Russell Wilson, just 3 weeks in, or after just 3 games in favor of the rookie Jaxson Dart.
I don't think we're getting the truth at all, because to me, there's two truthful options. Number one, he gets up there in a little bit and he says, the last couple of interceptions that Russell Wilson threw were absolutely repulsive and unacceptable, and he just railroads a future Hall of Famer, which he's not going to do. So that's not going to be one route. The other route would be, because basically trying to save my ass here. So I think you're going to get a little bit of the coach speak that you don't want.
What if the truth is, you know what? Our quarterback play wasn't very good.
Mm-hmm.
And we feel, and he's probably going to say this regardless, but we feel that Jaxson Dart gives us the best chance to win games now.
Yeah.
But then the counter should be what about his development. So we should get some good answers. I guess I just want to know how much of this decision was Dable himself, how much of this was ownership having their influence on it, how much of it was due to Russell Wilson's play or the fans begging for Dart. Like, those are all, if it's just Dable saying, I believe he's ready, and I believe he gives us the best chance to win. If that's the truth behind this move, then I'd be more okay with it.
Yeah, the problem is he could say that. We won't know till we see him on the field.
Won't believe it anyway, right?
We won't believe it anyway. Right. You're absolutely right. And the thing is, this is a small thing, but hopefully somebody asks him, because this would pique my curiosity. I brought it up yesterday before we found out that he was definitely going to make the move here. Was Winston considered? I want to hear the answer.
Right.
Was everything on the table, or is this it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fascinated to hear what Dable has to say about this. I just hope that we get something good here. And Dable has been more open. A
little bit.
After the losing, maybe getting a little nudge. Now, was that on Brian Dable? Or was that somebody above telling him, hey, cut the crap?
You know what? I just think it's a smart guy who understands the reality of he doesn't have a whole lot to stand on at this point. When your record is what it is, you got to be a little bit more honest, and you can't deflect, and you can't. Those press conferences don't work anymore.
Remember too. So for the same people who say, and by the way, everybody's excited about Jaxson Dart. I'm excited to see him. We all can't wait to see him. Whether we think it's the right timing or not, that's a different story. But for all the people who are trusting the Giants' decision-making here, or for the Giants themselves to say, we shouldn't be questioning their decision. Well, okay, in part, a large part of why everybody wants Jaxson Dart was because they don't think Russell Wilson has been any good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whose idea was it to sign Russell Wilson? Whose idea was it to sign Russell Wilson, to have him be your starting quarterback, and then believe that that was going to be a recipe to have some success? That was their idea. The Giants, Joe Shane and Brian Dable, they thought Russell Wilson was going to be good. Now, I don't think he's washed up myself, but if we're making a decision, I shouldn't say where, if they're making a decision to go away from Russell Wilson because he wasn't any good in favor of the rookie, that's also a knock on them, because they are the ones who signed Russell Wilson to be their starter in the first place.
Okay, so there's a couple of things there. Like the term washed up, and I think he's more washed than you do. Now, again, he can still throw the deep shot. We saw that against Dallas. When I just want to provide a little context here, because I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Wilson. I think he's a little bit more washed up because I associate not willing to take a hit or to tuck it and run when some situations presented itself where he just doesn't quite have whatever it is, the willingness to take a hit, the ability to break free and run past somebody, whatever it is, maybe a combination of both. That's why I use the term. It's just a shortcut to say I don't think he's that good anymore. I'm not trying to be rude when I say washed. But I do think he's fairly washed at this point.
But you thought they could win some games with him.
I did, but then I saw him play 2 out of the 3 games. The Commanders game was bad. The other night was worse. And really, if we didn't see the sequence at the end of the game, I'd probably say run him out there one more game. It was so bad. And that's where I'm like, he just doesn't – he wants to get rid of the ball, man. You can't win with that.
But regardless of what you or I think, like, they're the ones who are actually making these decisions.
Yeah, but
they felt that Russell Wilson was the right guy to bridge the gap. And the plan was to have him be their starting quarterback. So, like, in no way, shape, or form should they be absolved of that awful decision if, in fact, that they're making this change because Russ isn't good enough. Okay, Russell Wilson isn't good enough. Wow, I could have told you that. You're the ones who signed him in the offseason. Like, they should get a hit for that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to dent them too much. You can, because they didn't make much of a financial commitment to him at all. If it was a move where, you know, like the Raiders getting Geno or Darnold getting some money like he did, or, you know, it was a nominal investment. I think we all knew what it was. I would say, to me, what's, you know, not that it needs to come out in the press conference today, but since we're talking about their path to the quarterback room this year, I just think even the way they started with signing Winston was ass backwards. Winston was here before Russell Wilson.
Right. Well, they were waiting on Rodgers.
I know, but it was just, it's been very convoluted. In their defense, there's not many veteran options, let's face it.
Do you think if Aaron Rodgers were here instead of Russell Wilson, and he were playing the same way that he's playing with the Steelers here, now I doubt that anyway, but if he were doing that, do you think we'd be talking about Jaxson Dart being the starter in Week 4 right now?
No, but I don't think we'd be talking about the Giants being a really good team yet. I don't think we'd see that. Aaron's thrown a couple of interceptions, by the way, and against the Jets, they were wide open touchdowns.
I'm not worried about them being good. I'm just saying, do you think that we would be talking about Jaxson Dart?
No, we would. We definitely wouldn't.
Which then leads us to, if this decision is being made because you don't think Russell Wilson is any good, it's the wrong decision. You know what I'm saying? It's the wrong decision to go away from Russell Wilson to a rookie if you're basing it off of his play. It should always be about Jaxson Dart. Always. If he is ready to go and you firmly believe he's fully ready to go, then he should be your starter. And I don't believe that that's the case. I believe that they had a plan in place that even if they thought he was ready, they were going to ride Russell Wilson out, let him sit and learn. And now they're not doing that. And I do believe it's in part, at least, because of Russell Wilson's play, which to me is not the right decision to be making.
I'm going to meet you here. The front end of their play here, which is where we're at now, was not the front end of their play. This is an audible. And this is where they look sloppy and a little desperate. And hopefully it works out, right? I don't know what the back end of their play was. And to me, that's probably the more important part of the equation, because if they themselves, again, collaboratively, organizationally, wanted to play, believed that Dart could play at some point this year, final 5 games, final 6, kind of doing Eli back in the day with Kurt, well, then it wouldn't make sense to bring Rodgers in, because Rodgers would have been better than Russell Wilson, and it would have been tough to justify benching Rodgers if operative word, if you had the intention of playing Dart at some point this season. I think that they always thought they were going to try to get to Dart, which is why I think it was easier to say, all right, let's do this Band-Aid. Easier to bench Russ than bench Aaron Rodgers.
Kingsley is calling from Brooklyn. What's up, Kingsley?
How you guys doing? I came in ready to talk about one thing, and then Sal just got me thinking about this. Russell Wilson going for them. Brian Daboll's known for Josh Allen, right? He had big success with Josh Allen. Big body, big arm. So when they got Jameis Winston, I'm like, yes, you finally know your identity. You know what you are. But then they got Russell. And I think that was a panic move just in case they didn't get Dart. But once they got Dart, they should have traded Russell, because Russell doesn't fit in that.
I don't think Jameis. I know that was for Sal, but I would just push back quickly. I don't think Jameis Winston fits the profile of Josh Allen at all. Like, he's big and he lets it rip, but I mean, Josh Allen's an athlete. Jameis Winston's not. He can't run at all.
Yeah, I mean, look, the idea of having Jameis Winston, who is a career backup, basically, be the starter until you go with the rookie, that would have been a different setup in my mind. The plan would have been, okay, well, we're just having this guy for a few games before we go over to Dart. Once you get Russell Wilson and you have Jameis Winston, and then you trade up aggressively to go get your quarterback, which was the right move, to me, there was a plan in place to have him sit and watch and learn for a while. And obviously, that's not the case. All right, so we're going to get bits and pieces here of Brian Daboll. Hoff says we got the first soundbite. Let's listen to Daboll addressing the media today.
Quarterback situation. I met both with Russ yesterday and Jackson privately. And Russ was nothing but a pro, which I'm expecting to be. My decision, I'm going with Jackson. We're going to get him ready to play this week and the remainder of the season. He's going to do everything he can. Russ will be the backup. conversations that I've had with these young men will be private. The details will be private. All I can tell you is we're going with Jaxson, and we're getting ready to play. So I'm not going to add too much to it. Those are private conversations. It's my decision, and we're going with Jaxson.
Already I'm not buying it. Like a predetermined or a pre-written statement right there already. Now, there are going to be follow-ups that we're going to get the answers to when they're going to say, okay, well, why? It's a simple question. Why this decision? You can keep the conversations private. I don't need to know how Russell Wilson feels. I know how he feels. He feels like crap. Yeah. He feels hurt. He's probably pissed off. Like, we know how. So I don't need to hear what and how Jaxson Dart feels. He's excited for the opportunity. Like, I don't need to know those conversations. Well, that's well within Dable's rights to keep that private. What we should know is what went into this decision.
Well, I don't trust a lot about the Giants these days. I don't, okay? Talking about the influence that we all believe came with Jones and Mara a little bit, a couple of years ago. How do we know? I mean, listen, the first thing that popped into my mind was, is Dable just saying that? Like, did Mara go to him and say, hey, this is your problem, man. Right. I mean, this is your mess. You better fix this. Keep my name out of it. You better own this.
The fact that he mentioned at least twice in there. That this is my decision.
Did he oversell it?
Yeah, it makes
sometimes when you're lying, you oversell it.
Yeah, it makes me think I'm not buying. I'm sure that it was in part his decision.
Well, of course. They didn't shove it down his throat.
Let's say, even though if we did say it would be ignorant, let's say that Mara had nothing to do with this. Now, I think that that's ignorant based on what's happened in the past, based on what we saw in Hard Knocks, based on what's happened, based on what Mara said. Let's just say that that's the case. Okay, if it is in fact Dable's decision, now there's another layer to it. Is he making this decision to save his ass? Like, that's another thing. My primary concern here is preserving and protecting Jaxson Dart and making sure that when they do go to him, he's ready to go and he can take off and be the franchise quarterback for the Giants. That is my Sal Licata's singular goal. Can we say that about Brian Dable, that his singular goal is to go to Jaxson Dart and protect him and make sure that he's going to do everything he can to put a foundation in place that Dart can succeed once he gets in? Can we say that definitively about it?
We can say that, but we can't say the other way either. We don't know yet.
Right.
I mean, I know where my instincts kind of lead me. Let's face it. I've used the term self-preservation for quite a while now. When your job is on the line, you kind of do things that maybe you wouldn't do, or you do them faster than you want to do them. So I don't know what's real, but what I tend to think is the truth is that it's probably a little bit of both, and he's trying to change the narrative around his job status.
Let's listen to more from Brian Dable.
To the decision. Again, those are conversations I have with each player. Again, he's our starter. We're going forward with Jaxson, and we're going to get him ready to play.
What do you expect from him, Coach?
I expect him to prepare. I expect him to go out here and get better each time he plays. It's not always going to be perfect, but I do think that he has the right makeup and athleticism. And look, we're going to do everything we can do to help him be the best player. I know he is as well. It's not just on one person, it's on the entire team. And that's what we're going to do.
All right, I know. Good job with this so far, Hoff. I know we're getting snippets here, right? So maybe we're going to get this at some point. But to me, one of the questions has to be, Coach, we understand and respect the private nature of the conversations, but was this always the plan? Was it always the plan to have Jaxson Dart play in September?
But also they just asked why. And he said, I'm going to keep those conversations private. Why? You can't tell us why you're making this decision? You're changing everything after 3 weeks. Why is that the case?
Because he's trying to protect Wilson. Because Wilson's he had a rough game.
But then you could also just come out and say, look, we love Russ. We think he's valuable to the organization.
Yeah.
He's going to be dressed as our backup here. We just weren't getting the kind of play that we expected to get, and I think Jaxson Dart's ready to take us to a new level. Like, there are ways to say it, even compliment Dart without putting down Wilson. We need to know why you're making this decision. It can't just be, we'll keep those conversations private. Then why didn't you go to Dart earlier then? Well, what is it? Russell Wilson threw for 450 yards a couple weeks ago. So what happened there? Is he just not good? There's got to be some kind of answers from somebody.
Well, that's why. I'm sorry, Sal. That's why I think there's a creative way to get to the answers that we want. And to me, if you ask, was this always the plan? Now it opens up the curtain, and it's going to put a spotlight on everything. And now maybe he'll be able to talk his way out of it. And it'll just, hey, private nature, this, that, my decision, everybody's on board, blah, 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 the same old stuff. Okay, maybe we get that. Maybe we don't. Maybe he trips over an answer and he acknowledges something that he doesn't want to acknowledge.
You know what? Ultimately, we'll have fun breaking this down the rest of the way here whenever we get more sound from Dable. Ultimately, it doesn't even matter. What matters is, and this is why, like, the Giants organization, they could say whatever they want, do whatever they want. We could think one thing, whatever we want. People could break down film and talk about whatever they want, different opinions on social media, fans, whatever it may be. The reality is their record has spoken for itself for a long time. This is not people trying to make it like it's been bad with the Giants and we're speaking out of term. Their record has been horrific, and it continues to be horrific, even when the Giants themselves, try to tell us it's going to be different. Now, you can erase all of that and just say from here on out, let's be excited about Jaxson Dart and see what he could do. And that's ultimately what's going to matter. Not why they went to him, not what Russell Wilson thinks or what Dable says, how Jaxson Dart's going to be. My issue is that based on past evidence, I don't trust that they're putting him in the right position to succeed. And that is going to be potentially another setback. I hope I'm wrong. I hope he goes in there, lights the league up, and takes off the start of the rest of the way. The Giants win a bunch of games. We could all be excited as a football town again about the Giants. But based on the way that Shane, Dable, Mara, the guys before them have handled things, I don't trust them.
They don't get the benefit of the doubt. They lost that. They lost that a long time ago when they stopped being the Giants. And
because
now
they're horrific record.
Yeah, and their decision-making, which has been awful, going back to Gettleman and the way they let Tom Coughlin leave and even the way they benched Eli and just some of the dumb things they've done in the draft. I mean, the Giants have been a train wreck. What do we care? If the Giants didn't wear blue and you put them in green, they'd be the Jets.
Right.
They basically have become the Jets. I don't know how else to say it. I mean,
but they make it sound like it's everybody else's fault.
Then that's their problem.
But
because then they got to look in the mirror and they got to understand that whatever they used to be, they're the exact opposite.
Well, Gettleman talked down to people.
Yeah, Gettleman was a clown.
Dable's got that attitude. Shane a little bit. Like, they got that higher than the Giants themselves. Oh, how dare a fan criticize the Giants team? Or how dare a member of the media criticize somebody's performance? It's Big Blue. It's the Giants.
That's like walking around like Daddy Warbucks and you got $2 in your pocket. You got to understand where you're at. I mean, right now, the Giants are a destitute, just to stay with the money analogy, they are a destitute franchise, and we all want to see them pull out of it, but until they start providing some evidence, I'm not believing anything.
And BT, they said they had a plan in place. They said they were happy with the quarterback room. They decided to start Russell Wilson. They were talking about the draft and how the drafts have been good in recent years. They were expecting to be competitive, and yet they've played 3 games, lost all 3. I don't want to hear that you were close, that you had it.
Big deal. Jets have been close to you. You didn't win a game yet.
You lost all 3.
Yep.
And not only did you lose all 3, now, after 3 weeks in which you lost every single game that you've played, now you're completely changing course and going to the rookies.
Which is why I ask, was this always the plan? That's the meat answer that I need right there. I need that answer.
BT and Sal on the Fan. More from Dable, more of your calls when we come back. The city's biggest indoor pickleball event is coming back October 10th and 11th, and it will sell out. Sign up for the fun or for the cash prizes. Go to 1010wins.com/pickleball for all the info. The pickleball tournament is presented by Nissan. At Nissan, we make cars that thrill. Experience the thrill for yourself today. Shop NissanUSA.com.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute sponsored by Chumba Casino, your online casino for plays, spins, and a chance to score. Must be 21 and over. Terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Things are so off in Jacksonville, even Deion Sanders is calling it out. He says the Jags aren't using Travis Hunter enough, and he would know. The rookie snap counts are slowly climbing each week, but the production isn't. Deion thinks they're holding him back, so what's the plan? Ramp him up or just keep playing it safe with a star in waiting? I'm Maggie Gray.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening, because health is a long game and it's yours to win. Now, here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi? Learn more at depend.com.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Town Town Fair Tire has the area's largest inventory of name brand tires at discount prices, including Michelin tires, which give you the perfect match. A relaxing driving experience from your vehicle, along with all-season design for superior performance that stands out from the crowd. And Town Fair stands out from other dealers with a guaranteed lowest price on Michelin tires and gives you more free services for life than anywhere. Nobody beats a Town Fair tire deal. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
4 distinct all-electric Cadillacs. Some drive them for performance. Others drive them for the range. And some drive them because it's the only way to make an entrance. 3 different ways to turn every drive into an occasion. Whatever your reason, there's never been a better time to say, let's take the Cadillac. The all-electric Cadillac family of vehicles. Escalade IQ, Vistic, Optic, and Lyric. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today.
When your team's best players have all been traded and the latest pick is overrated, just raise a glass with a friend or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. May your team be great and your picks be true, and if it falls apart you'll know what to do. Just raise a glass with a fan or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. It's a crazy world, so what do? You tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. Hey! Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, imported by William Grant & Son.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on the Fan.
You're on the list for Macy's Fall VIP Sale. That means you're invited to save big on this season's top designer looks at prices you'll love. Like an extra 30% off Calvin Klein, Steve Madden, Hugo Boss, and more. Plus, get 15% off beauty and fragrance from Estee Lauder, Lancome, and so many others. This only happens a few times a year. Don't miss the Fall VIP Sale tomorrow, only at Macy's. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Today, we're constantly taking photos and videos to remember our favorite moments. But what about those captured before the smartphone? What about the memories tucked away on aging VHS tapes, film reels, or in fading photos?
These cherished memories are fading away with time, vulnerable to threats like heat, moisture, and mold. But fear not, there's a solution to safeguard your legacy. Hi, I'm Adam.
And I'm Nick. Together, we founded Legacy Box over a decade ago with one mission: to bring your memories into the 21st century.
It's time to bid farewell to old tapes you can't watch and faded photos. Legacy Box transforms them into digital treasures, ready to share with a click.
Just like magic, your shoebox of memories is now safely stored in the cloud or on a thumb drive.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box, so you can rest assured your priceless moments are in good hands.
Don't let your childhood fade away on old tapes. It's time to digitize those priceless moments.
Fast forward into the digital age. Visit legacybox.com/value and unlock 50% off your order. That's legacybox.com/value.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable. It's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
Recovering from an addiction is an individual accomplishment. A young mother who chose recovery to care for her family. A high school athlete overcoming opioid addiction. A couple celebrating his recovery. Everyone's recovery is different, and there's no shame in asking for help. Call 844-REACH-NJ. Trained counselors are available 24/7 to help you find the recovery option that's best for you. Tell us your story, and let's begin your recovery today. A message from New Jersey Human Services.
Town Fair Tire, Connecticut's largest discount tire dealer. Because we give you the guaranteed lowest price and we honor every manufacturer's rebate. We even honor all our competitors' rebates. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium hot or iced coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions. Participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday this season, all the way through the AFC Championship game. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
Come visit the engagement experts at London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations.
Call, text, or chat 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. A message from the New Jersey Department of Human Services.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
On the Fan, 888-808-1019, the number to call. Winning cures everything, BT, as always. So as long as Jaxson Dart goes out there on Sunday and the Giants start to win some games and he looks good, everybody's going to be excited about it, and it's just refreshing finally with the Giants after years of watching Daniel Jones and now obviously 3 games of Russell Wilson. Excited to see the future here, but they got to win. I mean, this regime, bottom line is they have to win, whether it's with Jaxson Dart now or in the future, near future, they're going to have to win some games, and that will get the conversation away from the mishaps of the Giants organization or even the inconsistencies with maybe their messaging from Brian Daboll and others.
I can't wait to see him play. I mean, I'm really excited, like everybody else. Jet fan, Giant fan, football fan, New York fan, whatever. Let's see what the kid has. That's always exciting when a young player bursts on the scene and there's a lot of hype. And, whether it's, young Met pitchers back in the day or young pitchers now or when Judge came up. You just love seeing this. It's fun. And hopefully he delivers the goods. You just hope that, as we've said a million times, I know it's overly repetitive at this point, I want to know what the motivation is. And if it's for the wrong reason, the trajectory of the franchise can change one of 2 ways. He comes in, he balls out, everybody feels good, or he comes in, he looks overwhelmed, he regresses, and they ruin him. That's also a possibility.
All right, let's listen to one more here on Brian Daboll. I believe the question was is the slow start, the 0-3 start, how much did that factor into the decision?
How much does
there you go.
And the pressure of that factor into the equation for you?
Yeah. Sorry, buddy. Thanks. Look, I did it. I'm not going to get into the specifics, like I said before. I think it's the right thing for our football team, and so I'm doing it.
You don't think you owe it to your fan base to give an explanation?
There you go.
Why you're doing this?
Yeah, I appreciate our fans. We got to do a better job all the way around, and that's what we're trying to do.
The direction the season's going, you feel like something you need to make the same job?
Yeah, it's a long season, Dan. We've had 3 games. Haven't put it together all collectively, and made the decision to play Jackson.
I just don't understand, BT, why he's got to be such a you-know-what about this. Just answer the question. You don't have to give us every single detail. You're making a significant change, a change which is going away from your original plan just 3 weeks in. You got to give a reason why. We're just asking why. You got to give a reason why.
He doesn't, though. He's getting away with it. It's bothering us, but he doesn't have to. I mean, we wish that he did. I think it's weak that he didn't, but I'm not surprised that he didn't. It's frustrating.
Brian, you signed Russell Wilson to be the starting quarterback. Why are you going away from him after just 3 weeks? Is it his performance? Is it your record? Are you trying to save your job? Are you being told to do there are different levels of the depths that I want answers to, but I understand you're not going to get all of them.
Yeah.
At the very least, you could say, look, the results haven't been there. All you have to say really is we believe Jaxson Dart gives us the best chance to win football games. That's all. I wouldn't even take that, but at least say that.
I can't believe he didn't say that.
He won't even give you that's a layup.
I'm not going to get into that, Sal.
Why? Why'd you make the jump? I'm not going to get into that.
I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to keep that private, just us.
See, so that makes me think.
Yeah, I know where you're going.
That there's a lot more deeper stuff to it than
There is. Of course there is. We know there is.
Why are you making the decision now? Well, because Mara told me to, and if I didn't do it, I'd be fired.
You think he wants to make himself look weak? No.
Also, if he doesn't truly believe in... See, that's my fear. Forget about ripping Daboll for a second.
Yeah.
If Brian Daboll, the guy that John Mara hired to be his head coach, if he says... This is the plan that we need to stick with. Russell Wilson, we're riding this out for at least a few more weeks, 4 or 5, whatever it may be. Trust me on this. Let's ride out with Russell Wilson, regardless of the results. Dart's not ready. I want him to learn even more. Mm-hmm. Then we'll go to him. If that's his belief, then that should have been what should have been happening. Not Mara saying you need to start Dart now, or Shane or whoever saying you need to start Dart now. And the fact that the head coach won't give an honest answer on why makes me think that it's not, in fact, his decision. I'm sorry. Call me a skeptic. He said multiple times, it's my decision, it's my decision. I'm not buying it. If it's your decision, then why can't you just give me the answer as why you made that decision?
All right, let me ask you a question. So I'm with you. It's frustrating. The Giant fans, that was Jordan Renan, right? That was a great question there. That was a great job about the Giant fans. Well done. So you know where I stand. I'm with you. But just to maybe look at it a little differently, to be fair to everybody here, not that we're unfair, but to see it from every angle. I mean, this is 2025, and this is what most coaches give you. Would it be any different in any other city? Is just the way these guys operate now, where they don't feel like they have to say anything, and they really don't?
You don't think the fans want to hear why they made the change?
That's not what I'm saying. I know they do. I want to hear.
Yeah.
You want to hear.
Yeah.
Fans want to hear. But is this just become common practice in sport? These guys don't say anything.
I mean, a decision of this magnitude, it shouldn't be that hard. We're not asking to cover up some kind of crime or penalty or talk about something bad here. We're talking about why you made the decision to go to your rookie quarterback after the plan was clear that you wanted to start a veteran to have him lead the way after just 3 weeks. Why are you making that decision? It's a very simple, easy question to answer.
You know what I'm going to try to find during the break here? I'm going to try to find what Coughlin said when he went to Eli. I'm going to try to find those quotes.
Yeah.
Do a little search here. With AI, should be able to come up with something. I'm curious how Tom Coughlin framed it. Because
from Warner to Eli.
Kurt Warner, Hall of Famer. You know, I mean, obviously now, but at that point he was already champion.
Yeah, but I don't remember. See, like back then, didn't it feel like it was just inevitable with Eli? The plan, I don't think, was Warner the whole year. But I could be mistaken. I don't remember exactly.
It wasn't the plan, but I remember Tiki saying that a lot of the guys weren't happy because I think they were 5-4. They were either a game over 500 or at 500 or a game under. And that did not go, not because they didn't believe in Eli, but, you know, when you're a rookie, you're gonna take your lumps here. And there were a lot of veterans on the team that thought that they can maybe forge forward with Kurt and win some games. It's selfish. I don't blame them.
Right, who had some success, obviously.
Now Eli was, you know, the trade, the first pick, and Manning. Dart was, you know, barely a first rounder.
Well,
so a little different. But I am curious at what Coughlin said, if he divulged more. I don't know.
Me, I don't remember what he said. I would bet he gave the canned, we believe Eli gives the best chance. It was something of
probably,
which is what most coaches say. He could have just said that.
Yeah.
I still would have wanted more, I'll be honest with you. But the fact that he's ducking that question, good guy. No, hey, look, none of it matters once Jaxson Dart gets on the field and goes out there and hopefully balls for the Giants. But it is infuriating to continue to hear the rhetoric from the New York Football Giants. BT and Sal on the Fan. We'll get back to your calls on the other side. Maybe hear a little bit more from Brian Dable as well. 888-808-1019. Right now, let's get you updated. Here's Andrew Bogish.
Wake up with Boomer and Geo. Mornings 6 to 10 on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York on Odyssey Sports Stations.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 101. I'm Andrew Bogish. This Sports Flash is sponsored by Paramus Chevrolet. As the guys were just discussing, it is now official from the Giants.
I met both with Russ yesterday and Jaxson privately, and Russ was nothing but a pro, which I would expect him to be. It's my decision. I'm going with Jaxson. We're going to get him ready to play this week and the remainder of the season.
So the switch is permanent, and Brian Dable did say more than once this was his decision. After the bullpen got 23 outs last night at Wrigley, the Mets need some length from Jonah Tong in Game 2 tonight. Cubs lefty Matthew Boyd throws the first pitch shortly after 8 on Odyssey Mets Radio. The Reds once again start first at 6:40, facing Pirates righty Paul Skeens. The Yankees' pursuit of the Blue Jays continues against the White Sox, 7:05 here on the Fan. The Islanders say forward Andres Lee is out 1 to 2 weeks with an upper body injury, and Wagner men's basketball coach Donald Copeland currently suspended, with the Post reporting Copeland under investigation for mistreating his players. Fan weather is sponsored by the United Healthcare Medicare store in Jackson Heights. It's 79 degrees and mostly cloudy in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports Flashes, top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Talk New York sports on WFAN, 888-808-1019. Powered by Paramount Plus. Count on Sundays all season long with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
BT and South back on the fan. 888-808-1019 is the number to call. We have any more hot from Dable, or is that it? Is that a wrap on the where we at with the Dable stuff?
I think we're good with that, but I found the quote thing, the thing from Kaufman. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, so it's amazing what you can pull up here. This is from November 15, 2004.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, the Giants were 5-4.
Okay.
They were 5-4, but they had lost 3 of 4. All right, so they were still a winning team, but they were 4-1 to start. They were
9 weeks
losing.
into the year.
Yep. Quote, he is the future of the New York Giants. It just starts now, Coughlin said of Manning. I really felt the last 4 games we haven't been playing well offensively, and we just needed to make a change. There you go. At least he admitted the obvious. It's an answer.
From a real head coach. There's a real reason why he made the decision, and he gave you that. And that's not an easy decision to make, to your point, where you know it's going to upset some of the locker room. Tiki was there, so he would know.
Yeah.
5-4. But think about that. It was a decision that was made by a veteran head coach, even pre-Super Bowl winning. I'm just saying, like a veteran head coach that had some success in Jacksonville prior to arriving.
No question.
No-nonsense guy, his way or the highway. A team that was 5-4, but he knew they had another level to them, potentially with Eli Manning. Also, a guy who waited 9 weeks or whatever, after 9 games. It wasn't 2 weeks in where it reeked of a panic button or a complete change in direction.
But they weren't winless, so it's a little different. Like if they were 0-4, I don't know, does he do it in week 5?
But he didn't. I'm just saying that he didn't do it. Like my point is that they waited until 9 weeks in, and even at 5-4, you could still make the argument, well, they're winning 5-4. Why upset the apple cart now? He gave you the answer. We haven't been playing as well as I think that we could be playing, and he's the future. Like, that's a simple... Dable should have just plagiarized Tom Coughlin from 20 years ago.
Copy some other stuff, too. Not just the quotes.
I mean, really. It just... Now people say, Sal, why are you getting so mad at this? Why are you guys getting...
You are getting worked up, even more than me.
Because those type of things is what leads to a bad decision-making process, which leads to prolonged losing, which is exactly what we've seen from the Giants.
Well said. You know what it really leads to, too, just to add to that? It leads to instability.
Right.
And the inability to really believe in the direction and the future of the team.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like when you don't have a true leader, and this is not me trying to cut Dable down. It's hard to lead when you really don't win. I get that. And he did lead right away in year 1. That first game against Tennessee, he was exuding leadership when he just sliced up Daniel Jones for that ridiculous pass to Saquon in Tennessee. Right? And then he went for it. He's like, oh, this guy is a leader. We love this guy. And then he got to change. So I get it. Just like, a guy who's hitting 209, it's hard to step up in front of 25 guys in the locker room and say, yo, why aren't we playing well? Because everybody can say, well, because you're hitting 209. Maybe if you woke up, we'd be playing better. So leadership, it can't be convenient. It's got to be authentic, but generally is more effective when it's coming from somewhat of a place of success. So I admit that it's hard for Dable to exude great leadership now because they're terrible, and they've been terrible for a long time, but he's got to be better than he was earlier.
Okay, and then regardless of what Dable says, right? Some people could think it's a big deal, some people couldn't. What do you think went into this decision? Meaning,
I'm confused, man. I'm confused.
But the fact that we don't even... Well, I could say ownership, I could say Shane, I could say Dable.
Can I tell you what should have gone into it? The head coach says, this is the best move for the team. This is the young man that I wanted to draft. I can do some stuff with him I can't do with Russ. He'll make us better. Well, that's what should happen.
That's my point. So it's not just about what he's saying or what he won't say. It's about the whole process and how we got here just 3 weeks in. And then on top of it, him not answering a very simple question as to why did you decide to make this move right now. That's where I just don't have any faith that the decision makers at the Giants know what they're doing, nor will they come out of it. And the idea that Jaxson Dart's going to be some savior to me is also faulty logic. We just talked about it with Baldy yesterday. We've given you examples. C.J. Stroud, Daniel Jones are two that come to mind recently, where it's not just about the quarterback. What the hell happened to C.J. Stroud after year 1? Well, it's the pieces around him that aren't in place, which is why they have struggled and he has struggled. What the hell happened to Daniel Jones? How come he could go there in 3 weeks look like the MVP of the league?
Yeah.
Because the pieces around him are better. Well, the pieces around the Giants, they're still in the process of being built. I don't see a great defense. Do you? I don't see a great offensive line, do you? I don't see a great run game, do you? So we're putting now Jaxson Dart in a similar, maybe a little bit better than Daniel Jones, but a similar position to the one that Daniel Jones was in that he couldn't succeed in.
Oh, my God.
So why do we think it's going to be different? I hope it's different. I wouldn't bank on it. But we've got several weeks to find out here. At the very least, several weeks to find out with Dart at the helm or Dart starting with Dable at the helm.
You think he gets the whole run? Now, one thing.
Yeah, he said that.
I know, but I want to just say real quick with you. I know what he said. Let's see if we believe it. For those of you who missed it, and we played it, and if you guys missed the free Odyssey app, go back, check it out, our reaction. You'll actually hear from Dable as well. He said he's the guy for the rest of the year. We buying that?
I am. I don't think you can make this decision.
What if he's a disaster? You got to pull him and save him.
And do what? Save him from what? If he's a disaster,
himself, from being ruined, like Carr with the Texans when he got sacked 73 times.
To me,
that was never the same guy.
To me, there is no saving it. Once you make this decision, that's it.
I don't want to hear that. That's worse. That's worse than putting him in too early. Like, if you put somebody in too early, at least there's a checkpoint of, all right, maybe it's too early. Dart or anybody. Maybe it's too early, but all right, let's get him out before he's ruined. The worst thing to do is put him in too early and leave him there if he's getting his brains beat in.
No, you got to leave him there and let him figure out a way out of it.
That's the worst thing you could do. I think you could ruin the kid.
But that's why I wouldn't start him early. I'd make sure. And then once you do hand it over to him, it's got to be his job. He's got to deal with the adversity, the good and bad, the struggles. He's got to respond for it. There's no way. Me, personally, you would run your team differently, obviously. I would never make the decision to start him and then pull him however many weeks it may be, as bad as it got.
Yeah, just to be clear, I'm not saying that I would definitely pull him if it gets a little bumpy. I'd have to react to the situation, and every situation's different. Like, if he's just making a few bad reads because he's a rookie quarterback, that's one thing. If he is getting popped, 7-8 times a week, and now he's not even able to go through progressions, and it's stunting his development as a quarterback, that's something different. So I'm not even saying that I definitely would pull him. All I'm saying is the possibility that I might has to exist.
The BT and Sal Show on the Fan is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets. Andrew calling from Westchester. What's up, Andrew?
Yeah, a couple of things. First of all, Sal, just to push back, there wasn't a mistake assigning Wilson. They did that before the draft. They had no idea whether they were going to be able to sign, draft a decent quarterback. So they couldn't go into the season with Tommy DeVito. So they hedged themselves.
Well, they had Jameis Winston.
Yeah, no. They've got Winston and Russell Wilson for $15 million total. That's basically saying, okay, we're going to hedge our bets. That's sort of plan B and C. Let's go into it and then see if we can draft our future quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, that's number one. But the other thing is, I think he is showing, you guys are putting way too much value on a press conference. I think he is showing leadership by pivoting. He might have gone into this with a plan that Russell Wilson was going to be the quarterback. The preseason looked good. Practices look good. He's now 0-3. He's got to do something. I respect it.
Yeah, but Anthony, can I
judge it? My last thing, and then I'll let you guys go. The
ahead.
last thing is, all I want to say is, I don't know if we're going to actually be winning, but the play calling better be different. He talked about the athleticism of this kid. I want to see different kind of play calls. If he's just going to be handing the ball off like Russell Wilson, dink and dunking, it's not going to work. Then we're in real trouble.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Russ has thrown some balls down the field, and I think I called you Anthony. Thanks for the call there, Andrew. My fault. It's Andrew. So, yeah, I mean, I think you laid out their plan with Winston and Russ. I think you're probably pretty right. I mean, it was a minuscule financial investment, and they didn't know if they could draft Dart. I got that. We got that. But what you can't do, you're saying he's showing great leadership by making the move now. Only if it's for the right reason. If it's at the detriment of the kid, and it could be. It's not definitely because we don't know yet, but we got to talk about this before it happens. If it's to the detriment of Dart, well, then it's for a selfish reason, and that's the wrong reason. That's an unacceptable reason.
And there's no way anybody can convince me that 3 weeks would change thinking that a quarterback is ready or not. So I agree. If your logic is, and this is Andrew's logic, is that, well, they signed Russell Wilson and Jameis before they knew they could get Dart. Okay, great. But then they had a whole training camp, like a whole offseason, all that after they drafted Dart to see what he could do. And in preseason, if you see what Jaxson Dart could do and you're thinking, you know what, he's best for our offense right out of the gate than Russell Wilson. I know we signed Russ. I know we started to sign Jameis. I think this guy's got the goods to a point where you make him QB2. So you obviously saw something that made you think about it. Then why did you wait till week 4? Like, then Russell Wilson shouldn't have been the starting quarterback. Or at the very least, you could have gone week 2 and said, well, after week 1, which wasn't very good, we're going to go with Jaxson Dart now. Baldy said it. So if Baldy could say it week 2, then Brian Dable could have done that. There were no guarantees, at least that we know, that Russell Wilson had to start X amount of games. So why then wait? It's not just about, well, they signed Russell Wilson and that was their plan. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe their plan was, in fact, to go to Jaxson Dart. But then what did they wait for? This season's now over at 0-3. So if it was really about Jaxson Dart being the best player for the team, giving them a chance to win, then he should have started sooner.
Listen, I'm with you on
know what I'm
this.
saying? That can't change
I get it.
In 3 weeks from thinking Russell Wilson's a guy for 3 straight weeks and now all of a sudden he's not.
It's too abrupt.
Yeah, bingo.
Which tells me that the motivation behind this is something that should worry us. Right. I'm with you.
I hope he's great. And I do believe, I believe he's going to be better and more consistent offensively at the very least. The RPO is going to work, at least going up against Harbaugh. I don't know if that's the first challenge that you want a coach who's going to run circles around anybody, especially Brian Dable with the X's and O's and stopping the RPO. Like, Harbaugh will be able to do it probably better than most. But that is going to be effective, much more effective than what we saw with Daniel Jones, even when it was at his peak here, and certainly more than Russell Wilson. To what extent are they going to win games? I mean, look at their schedule coming up. Yeah, okay, maybe they play well against the Chargers and then they'll beat the Saints. But then what? 2 with the Eagles and the Broncos. Like, I'm not so sure that even if it looks a little bit better, that the results are going to be there anyway.
I think it's going to look better. To me, it's almost like you have a baseball offense that doesn't generate a ton of runs, so you got to do some stuff, whether it's running or hit and run, whatever it might be. Whereas with this Giants offense, even though Neighbors is amazing, like, they're just conventionally, 2 of the 3 games, they couldn't generate any points. It had to be Dallas' defense that allowed them to do that. I think that this is an unconventional way of generating some more offense with the RPOs, with the legs. So I do think he's going to look fairly settled fairly soon, but he better. I don't know what else to say.
By the way, I guess in my mind, like, they either made the decision too soon or too late.
I wouldn't say too late.
Too soon in that they are hurting Dart's future, potentially.
Yeah.
Too late in that they've ruined the season. And if you're going to go to him week 4, why do you go to him week 2 or start the year with him? Like, there was no sitting and learning for Jaxson Dart. 3 weeks is not nearly enough. So you're either throwing him to the wolves right out of the game, saying he's our best option, we're going to let him learn and take the lumps. If you're going to do that, do it from week 1. Don't do it 3 weeks into the season. Like, that's ridiculous.
If Andy Reid did this, if Kyle Shanahan did this, if Harbaugh did this, if, either Harbaugh, if they did that, I'd be like, okay, here we go. But it's hard to believe the Giants are going to get this right. I hope they do. They might. But it's blind faith at this point, out of desperation. That's where we're at.
BT and Sal and hoping that talent can overcome all the other areas of deficiency. Jaxson Dart's talent specifically. BT and Sal on the Fan will continue with your calls. 888-808-1019. We should have Pat Leonard on as well, who's out there covering the Brian Dable presser. Maybe we'll get some more insight from Pat on this stuff as to what went into this decision here. Guys, by now you've heard me talk about Collars & Co., makers of the dress collar polo. They've already sold over 1 million of these amazing shirts. Well, Collars & Co. just came out with the new Maverick Performance Blazer. This blazer is sharp and wrinkle resistant, so you can travel anywhere with it. Just throw it in your bag and it will remain wrinkle free. It even comes with security zip pockets, a sunglasses loop, and an optional pocket square. So visit collarsandco.com and check them out today.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
Just a little heads up before something bad happens.
Move your coffee cup away from your computer.
Oh, no. So you can have more control.
Stop. You're texting your boss by mistake.
Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning. The cap is loose on that.
All with the Fios 1 gig internet plan. Plus no hidden fees or equipment charges. Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch today. Price guarantee applies to base monthly rate only for new and existing My Home customers.
Make cancer screening a part of your annual healthcare routine.
New York Presbyterian offers a full range of cancer screenings, including lung, cervical, prostate, colorectal, breast, and more. Regular cancer screenings could save your life by detecting cancer at its earliest, most treatable stages. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester. Learn more at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
With next day delivery available straight to your job site, it's easy to keep jobs running smoothly with the Home Depot. Plus, with pricing benefits for pros and top quality brands, you only have to make one stop for the whole job. The Home Depot. How pros get more done.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Here we go. This week, it's a must-see matchup as Lamar and the Ravens visit Mahomes and the Chiefs. Oh my goodness! Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing your schedule, and
Strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast!
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Together, let's drive at Paramus Chevrolet for $387 a month and $2104 due at delivery. Lease a brand new Silverado 1500 LT with 4-wheel drive for 36 months. Buy, enjoy 0.0% APR financing for well-qualified buyers. Visit ParamusChevrolet.com today.
At the United Healthcare Medicare store, right here in Jackson Heights, you can chat face-to-face with a licensed sales agent who understands the community and get clear answers to your questions. We're located at 3752 82nd Street between Roosevelt and 37th Ave. We're ready to help.
Sunday no longer a fun day? We've got specialists for that. Walking the dog, unleash, knee pain? We've got specialists for that. With 45 Castle Connolly top doctors, Orland & Cohen specialists are considered among the best in the nation by their peers, which can mean a better outcome for you. From Staten Island to Southampton, our network is open 7 days a week, so you can feel better, faster. Visit OrlandCohen.com.
Hey, it's Gio from Boomer and Gio. Join me this Friday to watch all the Ryder Cup action at the Tap Room in Farmingdale. I'll be down there at 1 p.m. and I have some Ryder Cup tickets to give away. Thanks to our friends at Flag and Anthem. Plus, there's great drink specials and golf simulators so you can get into the swing of it. I'll be at the Tap Room in Farmingdale, but there's 8 other locations on Long Island, and they're all celebrating the Ryder Cup with viewing parties, giveaways, and more. Tap Room is where locals go for craft beer, real food, and the best sports atmosphere. Cheer on the USA in the Ryder Cup and find your nearest location at taproomofny.com.
For over 100 years, Sloman's has been your trusted partner in comfort. When it comes to home heating oil, they deliver more than just quality fuel. They deliver peace of mind. With price protection, automatic deliveries, and 24/7 service, their dedicated team is just a call away, ensuring you stay warm and comfortable all winter long. Sloman's, the Tri-State's largest heating oil provider, proudly serving their community for generations. Give them a call today at 866-GET-HEAT or visit oil.slomans.com.
Stepping into the Kia K4 or K5 isn't just getting behind the wheel of any average sedan. It's stepping into what's next. With a K4, it's stepping into a world that's exciting. With a K5, it's one that's bold. The Kia K4 and K5, the next movement for sedans. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely.
Your cold is coming. Your cold is coming. When you feel a cold coming, shorten it with Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand.
Oh, no, not before my big trip.
The big trip you've been planning is coming up, and so is your cold. But Zicam can shorten your cold and get you back to planning sooner.
Thanks, Revere.
We really should keep Zicam in the house.
Shorten your cold with Zicam.
Take it from America's most revered messenger. Shorten your cold at the first sign with cold shortening products from Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand. Available in stores or see where to buy at Zicam.com.
Febreze. It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades. Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Fans, step up to the plate this fall with Primo Brands home water delivery at water.com. Whether you're hosting the big game or keeping the whole house hydrated, water.com brings your favorites. Poland Spring, Pure Life, and even Saratoga straight to your door. No heavy lifting, no last-minute store runs, just the refreshment you need when you need it. Signing up is easy. Pick your water, choose your schedule, and enjoy. Use code BASEBALL for 50% off your first order. Plus free delivery. Stay refreshed all season long. Order now at water.com.
Be part of it isn't just a slogan. 2026 season tickets are on sale now, and this is your chance to join the tradition and legacy of the New York Yankees. Purchase a plan and enjoy the best seat locations, significant savings, and flexible payment options. Plans start at just 9 games. Log on to Yankees.com, call 212-YANKEES, or email seasontickets@Yankees.com. For 2026 Yankees season tickets, email seasontickets@Yankees.com today.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Back on the Fan, 888-808-1019, the number call. Let's get some calls in here, BT. See what the fans have to say, whether it's Jaxson Dart, the Yankees' success, the Mets trying to hold on to a final playoff spot here. We'll have Pat Leonard coming up in about, 7 minutes or so, whenever Pat decides to join us. Steve is calling from Long Island about his Giants. What's up, Steve?
Boys, you cannot trust, as a fan, you just cannot trust the Giants' leadership. Jaxson Dart is hopefully the future. I love the idea of Russell Wilson and Jameis in there so this kid could learn from those veterans. This reeks of desperation. The chances of this kid being successful after 3 weeks is so low. Why not let Russell Wilson? He looked great against Dallas. I know he looked awful last week, but we could have played Russell Wilson a few more weeks. Give Jaxson Dart a little more time, and then if we're 0-4, 0-5, 1-4, get him in maybe in a second half like they were doing, giving him some sets. But to do it after week 3, it just looks awful.
No, but Steve, you know why they're doing it, right? They're embarrassed.
But it's to save Dabo's job.
They're desperate.
That's the owner's job to say, we're not doing this to save your job.
Yeah.
It can't just be, it can't be that. Somebody above has to be like, that's not the plan.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe somebody above wanted this, though, Steve, so we don't know, and thank you for the call. We don't know what's gone into it. But if you use common sense, you would say that it's a lot of different things. The least of which, to me, would be Brian Daboll making this decision on his own. I don't believe there's any way, and I could be wrong, I don't know. But I don't believe there's any way that Brian Daboll made this decision on his own. Like, you're telling me Mara has nothing to do with this? The fans
or
booing.
Shane.
Yeah. I mean, Shane
to an
as well.
extent.
The fans booing,
yep.
Getting restless, wanting to see Jaxson Dart. Like, It got ugly Sunday night at MetLife in the home opener. They're 0-3 again.
Dude, they're 2 more weeks away from the planes flying over MetLife again with the banners and the signs. So,
but now they're not.
That's where I'm going. This is a preemptive measure to get back a little equity within the fan base and basically shut everybody up for a little bit.
Right. And the hope is that it works, which, by the way, it could.
Yes, it could. I think he's going to be pretty good.
He could go out there and be a stud and change the entire narrative. Season back on. You beat the Chargers. You go beat the Saints. 2-3. Season back on. Now we got some games to get into.
Yeah.
That is possible. It's unlikely based on what, like, if you're making that decision Look, there are different philosophies. You could put somebody out there, go, hopefully he has some success, whatever it may be. For me, I would want to build the foundation before doing this. I've seen it fail too many times the other way, where there isn't a foundation, especially in this town. You get a lame duck head coach. Like, that's a fact. Brian Daboll is a lame duck head coach who has to prove himself with a rookie quarterback after already starting 0-3 with a more talented roster. He's already behind it. 0-3 to start, where many people didn't think that they were going to be 0-3. Probably none more important than Mr. Mara himself, who was probably surprised at 0-3. So he's already behind it. So now a lame duck head coach is trying to, not that this move is just trying to save his job, but that's what's happening here, trying to prove his worth, saving his job with a rookie quarterback already with a team that has struggled multiple ways this year through 3 games. How does that seem like a recipe for success long term? Other than relying on Jaxson Dart's confidence, cockiness, arrogance, attitude, whatever you want to say, and ability, it's not. And Daboll said it himself today, BT. The one thing he did say, it's not about one player, it's about the team. Well, your team stinks.
Have you ever seen those Instagram videos where it's a parental method that I don't agree with, but I also haven't looked too much into it, where people will take their newborn, and I mean like 3, 4, 5 months old, and they'll just dump them in a pool.
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
And they'll basically say, figure it out how to swim. Now, of course, they'll save the baby if they have to.
Right.
But the thought is that, even at that young age, the baby is more equipped to handle with that adversity than you would think. And that they figure it out, and you accelerate their ability to be comfortable in a pool. I see it doesn't apply here with a quarterback who's not ready. If he's not ready, and I don't know, but because nobody's jumping on the field to save him, like a parent's jumping into the pool to save the kid. So that's why this is dangerous. And again, we don't know how it's going to go, and we could be sitting here in 2 weeks saying it's the change of the Giants. The entire trajectory is here, and it's different. But we could also be sitting here saying we were right. It seemed way too early, and look at where we are now. And that's a danger. That's a risk I wouldn't take. Not yet.
And by the way, I wouldn't have recommended it, but at least if they said Jaxson Dart is going to be our starting quarterback from week 1 on, at least I could get behind it and say, okay, this is your clear plan. I have no expectations for what's going to happen in season as far as win-losses go. I just want to see what Daboll and Dart can do together and what this offense is going to look like. But it wasn't their plan because that did not happen. And now I think the expectations have changed, where I don't think this is just about evaluating what Daboll and Dart can do together. That's a part of it for Daboll's job, which it shouldn't be. But there's also a part of that this guy's going to be the savior and change the entire energy around the fan base, which has already happened, and there is legitimate excitement, but that could quickly dissipate with another poor effort on Sunday. All of a sudden he throws a couple interceptions, which you have to expect. Like, at some point he's going to hit the rookie wall, but I don't know if everybody's bracing for that. Like, are we prepared for that? And if that does happen, then what? Then Daboll's fired, and then you have a new head coach taking over Dart, and then we're in the same mess again. So at least it's not just about going to a rookie too soon in my mind. It's about going away from their original thought process so quickly.
Yeah.
That's my biggest issue.
Yeah, well, maybe this is the way to answer it a little bit here. So let's take away like the top 2 or 3 quarterbacks and just the most. So forget about Josh Allen, forget about Mahomes, forget about a healthy Joe Burrow, maybe one of Lamar. Forget about those guys. Like, go down to the next tier. And we know who those players are. That tier 2. If the Giants had that kind of quarterback play, would the Giants be a lock to be a playoff team?
I mean, in theory they should be, but probably not.
Yeah, I asked that because I'm kind of leaning with probably not as well, because I think there's too many other holes on the roster. I asked the question because that's a good way to answer or get a sense of, are they throwing him in too early, and are there many other problems on the team? And there are. Now, good quarterback play can mask some. It can't mask everything. Hopefully he's up for it. I think he's going to make some splash plays in week 1. I do. And I do think that they'll coach around his youth, but this is, it should not. It's September. He shouldn't be playing yet.
You think Dart's going to be as good as Daniel Jones is right now? I mean, think about that. Not that we need to go into a long-winded thing here. I say that in somewhat jest, but
no, I know. But it's my hope that he's better down the road, more dynamic, throwing the ball downfield, more of a leader, a little bit different. But no, right now, no. I don't think
Daniel Jones were here right now, do you think the Giants would be 3-0?
I don't. And I don't think so. Do you?
No. BT
Hoff is feverishly saying go to break.
I asked break 4 times to everybody.
I heard one.
Well, just being honest.
Yeah.
If you're going to blow me up on a spot like that, I'm going to go back.
You told me in my ear break, but I wanted to finish my thought.
I told you to break.
You said to break literally a minute and a half ago.
2 minutes ago.
Okay, 2 minutes ago. I finished my thought. All right, Pat. When we come back, we'll take a break here. When we come back, Pat Leonard of the Daily News should join us, 888-808-1019.
This is Andrew Perloff with an Odyssey Sports Minute. The excitement of the New York Giants turning to rookie Jaxson Dart at quarterback has a flip side. It's the beginning of the end of another failed chapter in Russell Wilson's late career arc. He'll be an interesting test for Hall of Fame voters. He's a Super Bowl champ with 10 Pro Bowls. Usually that's more than enough to get a quarterback in, no matter how ugly the last few stops have been. I'm Andrew Perloff.
Is your everyday congestion preventing you from enjoying life's big moments? Try Vicks Sinex Saline today and get yourself back in the action. Vicks Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion with a gentle ultrafine mist. Sinex Saline's drug-free, no-mess formula instantly moisturizes and soothes dry, irritated nasal passages for quick and effective relief. Get back to enjoying life's big moments to the fullest without having to worry about everyday congestion holding you back. Just Sinex, breathe, use as directed.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play.
If you're in the market for Michelin tires, get to Town Fair Tire and get them at the guaranteed lowest price. With Michelin's innovative technologies designed for durability and performance, you can trust you're getting the highest quality tires over all the toughest of road conditions. Plus, at Town Fair, you get free services for life. So if you're looking for the best deal on Michelin tires, get to Town Fair, because nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
We could tell you what it's like to drive the Nissan Rogue and tell you all about its performance capabilities, like its VC turbo engine. It's I can go virtually anywhere type of freedom. Nice. But you don't have to take our word for it. Go drive it for yourself. You're up. Experience the power of the Nissan Rogue.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Get 0% APR for 60 months on the 2025 Nissan Rogue, Pathfinder, or Murano. Visit your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. For well-qualified buyers, example, 0 down payment, 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to Nissan Motor Acceptance Company credit approval, not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends September 30th, 2025.
Hey, football fans, tune in this week to kick off with Boomer and Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and stories from across the NFL. Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Your cold is coming. Your cold is coming. When you feel a cold coming, shorten it with Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand.
Oh, no, not before my big trip.
The big trip you've been planning is coming up, and so is your cold. But Zicam can shorten your cold and get you back to planning sooner.
Thanks, Revere.
We really should keep Zicam in the house.
Shorten your cold with Zicam.
Take it from America's most revered messenger. Shorten your cold at the first sign with cold shortening products from Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand. Available in stores or see where to buy at Zicam.com.
FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer you won't want to miss. New customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. You can build parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines. Whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. The NFL season is finally here. The only question is, are you ready to play? Visit FanDuel.com/Geo. That's G-I-O to download the FanDuel app today and get started. That's FanDuel.com/Geo. We just love the app around here. It's safe and secure. When you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of WFAN. 21 and over and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issues, non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with the gambling problem, go 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Connecticut's best values at Town Fair Tire. They honor all manufacturer and valid competitor rebates, offer the most free services for life, plus give you the guaranteed lowest price. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
Listen weekdays from 1 to 2 on the Fan for the call of the day with BT and Sal, brought to you by Wind Creek Bethlehem. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium hot or iced coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions. Participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
You deserve a car that thrills you. A car that puts goosebumps on your goosebumps. At Nissan, we've got everything from turbocharged SUVs to 100% electric vehicles that'll make your heart beat faster. Experience the thrill for yourself. Shop your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today.
Hey, New Yorkers. Fast, reliable internet can be yours when you switch to Fios. For a limited time, combine Fios home internet and one line of mobile for just $69.99 a month. Get unlimited welcome for $50 a month with autopay plus taxes and fees when you bring your phone. And add Fios 300 megabytes per second for $19.99 a month with autopay, mobile plus discount, and bonus discount. Visit your tri-state area Verizon store today to get this limited time offer and switch to our reliable 100% fiber optic 5G network. Fios. For eligible new Fios internet and mobile customers, both the $15 monthly discounts for Fios and Bring Your Phone applied over 36 months. Mobile and home discount enrollment required. $99 Fios setup charge applies. For unlimited welcome, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic in times of congestion. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
Introducing the IHOP Value Menu, where all your breakfast faves are just $6 each every day. Where else can you get a big, filling, sit-down breakfast for only $6? Go to your happy plates with the $6 IHOP Value Menu. Available every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations.
Have something to say? Dial us 888-808-1019. Powered by Paramount Plus. Count on Sundays all season long with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Call of the Day with Brandon Tierney and Sal Licata on The Fan.
Today's Call of the Day brought to you by Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts. And we have a live Call of the Day, BT. Pat Leonard, who covers the Giants for the New York Daily News, also hosts a podcast, Talkin' Ball with Pat Leonard. Check it out on YouTube, TikTok, IG, and all that. He joins us today to talk some Big Blue and specifically Jaxson Dart. Pat, you were on with us back at the Javits Center for Fanatics Fest, and we're talking about Jaxson Dart. You said this could be the case that maybe we'd see him sooner than later. Did Dable give an answer on why he made this change ahead of their Week 4 matchup?
He would not. He just said it was his decision, Sal, and thanks for having me on, guys. He said that even if this was a conversation with ownership and the GM and acknowledged that there might have been, differences of opinion of whether this was the right time to do it, he said that it's his call and that everyone is putting their trust in his decision that Jaxson Dart is the right person for the job. He did not say anything about Russell Wilson's play. He did not say anything about what Jaxson Dart's talents can do to change up what the offense will look like. But he does believe this is the right time for it to happen. He was asked about his job security and whether it was related to that. He said, no, it's just related to essentially giving the team the best chance to win. So we know, though, that he's been trying to get this kid on the field ASAP, and now it's happening here in week 4.
It just feels abrupt here, Pat. I mean, what we were saying, and trying to flush through a lot of different things here, if he's ready, after 3 games to come in and try to save everybody's job and save the season, then why wasn't he deemed at least worthy enough to compete for the job? Because Russ was anointed the starter right away. So it seems like a bit of a contradiction. What do you make of that?
That's a great point. Yeah, well, I think the general manager as well, when they signed Russell Wilson, the general manager had a lot of confidence in Russell Wilson. And if you remember last year, Russell Wilson, they entertained signing him as an option, but he wanted to be guaranteed an ability to start for them, and they couldn't give him that with Daniel Jones in the building, and so he went elsewhere to Pittsburgh. This year, it felt like a preordained decision and agreement that Wilson would be the guy. And so I think, at this point, you have to question, you had Jameis Winston in the building, you have Jaxson Dart in the building. If you're truly trying to do the best thing for the team, why not make it a competition? Because now it looks absolutely ridiculous to preordain a guy to starter and not let anybody compete for the job. And then on the back end, bench him after 3 games, including one where he threw for 450 and 3 TDs. I think what it reflects is a disagreement and difference of opinion between the front office and ownership and the coach. I think the coach has wanted to play the rookie from the beginning, and I believe that that's why he said after the Washington game that he wasn't going to commit to Russell Wilson right away. We all heard the report 10 days ago that the Giants weren't in any rush to bench Russell Wilson and put Jaxson Dart in. Dable was asked about that report today, and he said, I've only had conversations with the players. So the long answer down to a short one for you is I think there's an internal tug of war here over what the best thing to do at the quarterback position was. And now that Dable is on the hot seat at 0-3, desperately needs a win, he's now deciding, all right, now it's my turn to go to my guy, and this is what I'm going to ride or die with.
So you think there's a divide here, Pat? Forget about ownership for a second. Let's leave them out of it. Are Shane and Dable on the same page currently?
I don't think they were at the start of the season. They were definitely in lockstep about making Russ the starter for the first day, because as much as Dable gave Jaxson Dart a ton of reps as the number 2 throughout training camp behind Russell, so that was indicating, okay, Russell's taking all the snaps with Malik Neighbors, all the snaps with Darius Slayton, all the snaps with the starting offense. So you knew if the coach really wanted to give Jaxson a chance to start, he would have them splitting those reps, right? So they were in lockstep to, okay, we're going into Washington, Russell's our guy. And remember, that was also not just because of him as a player. They also were treating him as their North Star as far as a motivator. They felt like they lacked leadership, which they did in previous seasons. So they were following Wilson as much as someone who could get the team in the right direction as anything else. But the second that the offense and the team looked the exact same in week 1 in Washington as they did last season, it became very clear to me that Dable was going to take the first opportunity of that window cracking open to make clear that he was on the side of let's get Jaxson ready. And that's where I think the divide was. I think the divide was, okay, yeah, we both believe in Jaxson. We were both involved in trading up and drafting Jaxson. But the divide is how quickly do we put him in? And Dable is on the side of Dart gives us the best chance to win.
Yeah. So the situation basically at the goal line inside the 5 the other night was just so egregiously bad. I don't know how you look 52 other guys in the eyes and say this quarterback's giving us the best chance to win. So I have no problem sending Russ to the bench. Was Jameis a consideration for a week or 2?
No, does not appear that way. Yeah, and I think so. Jameis is a weird case here because when they signed him, they didn't know how the first round of the draft was going to go. So there was a chance that they weren't going to land their guy, and they were coming into this season with Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston.
Yep.
And Jameis could be their backup. But once they drafted Dart, very clearly from the top down of this organization, they decided Winston was not going to see the field unless, there were injuries or it became absolutely necessary. What's interesting about that is, what's the reason for that? The reason is because he turns the ball over a lot. Well, Russell Wilson's out here turning the ball over left and right. As great of a game as he had in Dallas, his interception lost them that game along with the defense. And then he throws 2 picks in the first half against the Chiefs that undo their ability to win that game. So that's part of the reason why I felt Jameis should have had a chance the whole time. And I will say this, and I'm sure this is something that you guys have been talking about today too. If Jameis had played against the Chiefs, as much as Steve Spagnuolo had a good game plan, we all know Jameis would have gotten the ball to Malik Neighbors early and often, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jaxson Dart would have done that. How in the world their offensive scheme and Wilson were not able to find a way to get the ball in number one's hands?
Well, is that more on Russ or the play design? Was he just not throwing it, or was he not? Why?
Both. I think the primary culprit, honestly, was the game plan and the offensive scheme. You have Malik running go routes and hitches against 2 deep zone, when really what you need to do is run jet sweeps and crossers and get him into windows of the defense and things of that nature, right? Even you saw that slant route they ran to Darius Slayton that it was an ankle tackle away from maybe him taking it to the house. And then we barely saw a slant route again the rest of the game. The part of it that was on Russell is that once the game plan is not putting you at an advantage, as a veteran quarterback, if there's any reason, BT and Sal, why you have Russell Wilson as your starter and you handing him this job, is because you want him to dip into that vault of experience to help you adjust on the fly, to check to the right plays. And granted, he was checking to runs early because there were 2 deep safeties and there's a lighter box and you're trying to run the ball. But that's also on the quarterback there to find ways to go back to the sideline and say, we're not going to score points if we don't unlock number 1. As well as the fact that we all know that if Malik doesn't touch the ball early, he disengages, he gets frustrated. And so that's just short-sightedness combined with poor scheme, combined with a quarterback who just wasn't able to deliver on the type of experience he's supposed to have.
BT and Sal on the Fan. We're talking with Daily News, a beat writer for the New York Giants, Pat Leonard. A couple of quickies here, Pat. We're running out of time. Who's calling the plays here moving forward? Dable going to take that over now with Jaxson Dart at the reins?
No, he was asked that. He said he still believes in Mike Kafka, so Kafka will continue calling the plays.
And who's QB2 here? Is it clearly Russell Wilson, so Jameis is nowhere in the picture, and Russ is going to be okay being the backup?
It's Russell Wilson for now. Wilson's actually going to talk today. I've heard that he's handling it well as well as someone could. Obviously, always tries to be positive. Wouldn't surprise me if down the pike here this season, they either trade him or he asks for his release at some point. Dable was asked if he's going to ask for his release or if that's in the picture. Didn't really answer the question, but we know that happened last year with Daniel Jones, and there's teams out there that need quarterbacks. So you could see that coming down the road, but it's not in the immediate future.
Pat, the only thing for me left here, and it's a guess on your part, but I'm curious what the answer will be here. Let's just say that he looks overwhelmed early, and I don't know that he will, but just say that he does, and it doesn't look good, and it doesn't look or feel or smell right. Dable said he's basically committing to him for the rest of the year, which to me is ridiculous to marry to that concept before you've seen him take a live bullet here. So, I mean, that would have to be adaptable, that plan, right? If it gets to that point?
That's a great question. I think, if let's say Dart shows some promise, but he looks overwhelmed, they lose to the Chargers, you're going down to New Orleans in week 5. If you lose that game, we're not going to have a rest of the season to talk about for Brian Dable. You know what I mean? They need a result here for any of that to add up, I think. Now, if Dart needs to protect himself, he's a runner, but he's tough. He likes to lower his shoulders, similar to Daniel Jones used to do. He's got to protect himself, stay on the field. But I think the message to Dable here internally, as they discussed it, deliberated their disagreements, is if we're doing this, we're doing it. There's no half measure here. Mm-hmm. We're not going to Jackson and then ruining him and then going back to Russell. For me, failing to get a result and putting Jackson on the field when it's obvious it's too early, from what we see on Sunday, that's just a recipe for accelerating your firing.
Real quick, Pat, one-word answer here, or maybe a little bit more than one-word answer. Do you think that we could see at the end of the season Shane staying, Dable going?
Yes, it's possible. I do think they need results, though. 3-14 doesn't get that done. But yes, the organization has sold to us that they are a collaborative pairing for years. But now I view them as separate entities. That's how they came out of last season with kind of the blame game. And I definitely believe it's possible Shane stays and Dable goes.
Thank you, Pat. Great insight. Look forward to talking to you again down the line.
Thanks, dude.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Pat Leonard, NFL columnist, Giants beat writer for the New York Daily News, Talking Ball podcast, as well as some good insight there that helped clean up a little bit. I'll tell you this, I feel better about hearing what Pat had to say than I did listening to Dable, because Pat made it sound like, okay, there's a divide. This is Dable's call. If I'm rolling with anybody, I don't want ownership getting in the way. Mm-hmm. I don't want Shane getting in the way. If I'm the head coach, I want to make my decision. So from an outsider's point of view, I'd rather have the head coach make his decision. If he wanted this even sooner, then that's a knock on him. It should have been done sooner. But I'm okay with it if this is Dable's true decision and he believes Jaxson Dart gives his team the best chance to win.
Sometimes you got to stand up and bang on the table for your guy. And he's doing it. Let's hope it's the right guy.
Well,
and let's hope it's the right table.
But
I know what you're saying.
Could be right or could be wrong. As long as it's his true desire to have Darts, he says he's ready. Yeah. I trust him more than I do Joe Shane.
It's slim pickings here. Do you trust Mara more recently, Shane, or Dable? Honestly, because of the first year, I'd probably say Brian Dable.
Yeah, the answer is neither, but
if you had to pick one,
at least the head coach of the football team, who's, the offensive guy with the quarterback. All right.
Come on, Mets. Your Mets is going to go. Come on, let's go. You getting excited with your Mets tonight?
Man. Why don't kill the vibes. Thanks to Connor Hughes filling in for, Connor Green. Thanks to Connor Green filling in for Dove. Thanks to Pete. What's your last name again? Hoffy. Thanks to everybody who called and listened. We appreciate each and every one of you. Back again tomorrow, 10 a.m. Evan and Tiki, they're coming up next.
It's time for the pro to get everything for the entire job, all from one partner. To get access to over 3 million products, including many products you won't find in our stores. It's time to get delivery on your schedule or next day on over 50,000 products. And time to get dedicated support on the job site or in our stores. From ordering to planning, we've got you. One partner, any job, all in. Ask about all we can now do at the Pro Desk. The Home Depot Pro, it's about time.
Spreadsheets, clunky software.